Hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
we are the masters of the universe. People don't want to hear that no more anymore. We're the lords of power. Welcome everyone to
Hey,
this impromptu live stream, morning live stream. Good morning, everybody, at least here in the United States. Masters of the Universe is out on streaming Wednesday, July 22nd. You could watch it at home on the big screen at home and watch it over and over and over again.
today is the day, and tonight, and tomorrow night, and
Exactly. It's another landmark day for this community that, be honest with you, might not happen again. So I'm AJ. Everyone knows me, and probably a lot of you guys know the guy sitting next to me over here. Is it here?
hey, how's it going? My name is Shane. I'm House of Shikoti on Instagram and YouTube.
So Shane is with us. I'm so excited that Shane is with us, and Mike might be joining us in a little bit. It's 7 a.m. on the East Coast, which Shane is also in. West
Yeah,
Coast.
West
Excuse me.
Coast.
Sorry, look, even though it's 10 a.m. for me, I still haven't had enough coffee or anything like that. So, what a trooper, Shane, man. How you?
Coast to coast today with both of us.
Mm-hmm. So Mike might be joining us, and Jay might pop in, and we'll see what else happens. But just so excited that it's finally on stream, and everyone's been like commenting. I've been noticing on social media that are not really entrenched in the fandom, like you and I, that they're saying, "Oh my God, it's on streaming already!" You know?
Yeah, I was surprised at just how fast it went there too. I thought it would be a little bit longer, maybe the end of summer or something. But I guess they're ready to keep making money. So
Yeah, yeah. So Shane and I, we met for the first time at Motooniverse back in May, and Shane was awesome. So
thanks.
and and we got to chat. I think a few nights. I think a couple nights in a row, and
Yep.
had a few drinks. And clearly, he loves Masters of the Universe just as much as we are. And I can't wait to say hello to everyone in the chat. But the one thing I have not had a conversation with you, Shane, yet is how did you like the movie? I mean, what
Oh,
did you think? And
fantastic.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty much everything that I wanted. I went in there thinking that, like who knows how this is going to be. It could end up being a disaster, and I think that no matter what, I knew I was going to love it. Even like, the 87 movie has a huge place in my heart, and I don't think that they could do anything that I wouldn't enjoy. It's just more Motu, but I was really pleasantly surprised at how much I really did enjoy it. And I think that all of the actors, for the most part, embodied their characters really well, and it was a great time. I went 7 times in the theater to see it, so
You did
yep,
your part.
that's for sure. It was pretty neat though, because I got to see it in a lot of formats that I wouldn't have normally seen movies in. I go to the movie theaters a lot, but here on the West Coast we have a lot of old movie theaters that are like renovated and brought back to life, which is wonderful, and a lot of those will play older movies throughout most of the year. And Masters of the Universe didn't hit any of those theaters. It was only at Cinemark, AMC, and Regal, I believe. So I was able to go catch it in IMAX, which I had actually never seen an IMAX movie before until then. And then Screen X, which was a bizarre experience. And also this D box thing where your seat moves. So
I'm sorry. Keep talking.
nice.
It's streaming, baby. And it's
so
legal.
So yeah, it was great to get to see it in all those different fashions. I don't know if I'll ever, get the chance to do that again, or feel like I want to do that again with a movie. So it was fun to see it so many different ways.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you loved it. It's not a prerequisite. There's a lot of fans in the fandom that didn't love it as much as I did. For me, it's my favorite movie of all time. So I'm just so ecstatic. I didn't go in expecting that. So I'm so ecstatic that I've loved the movie so much. I can't believe it, dude. And you know what? Look at that picture. I mean, this is now I get to go through the nitty gritty. Do you know what I mean? Now I get to
Yeah.
stare at the backgrounds and stuff and see what's going on and try to find out all the Easter eggs. I'm so excited that we have it streaming.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to that also. Just kind of going through, being able to pause it and check out all the different drawings in Adam's room and everything else.
Yep. All right, so let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Warren is first up. Warren Newman, we've all got the power at home. Yes, indeed. At home. I can't, I can't
Yeah, it
believe-
seems unreal. We get to watch it as much as we want now.
yeah. Except, oh, you remember when he hit him with the stick? When I was the first
Yeah.
time I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, I'm not expecting." Always, my man at arms in my mind was always a little more docile. Would that be the right word? Kinder.
Yeah, a little more kind, compassionate, understanding. It was strange to see. They went in a few different routes with this that I also thought was strange, and that was the first one, I think, and I think a lot of other people, also have said the same. Very shocked to see Man at Arms cursing, and so much in such a short time, and then with the walloping with the stick, it was kind of like shocks you into the reality that this is going to be a little bit of a different Eternia, perhaps. So
Yeah. Masters Universe Classic says, I'm going to watch it later, guys, so I can watch your lives after I've seen it, which I miss the lives so much, by the way. Though once I've seen the movie, I don't have to worry about spoilers then. Masters Universe Classic, that's awesome. I hope you watched it already and enjoyed it. He says it's free as part of Prime too, which really surprised me. Someone on your post said it was going to be, and they were absolutely right. And I didn't expect it, as they're usually buy and rent first, and then they're part of the Prime subscription later. That's how they make their money. So I was well surprised pleasantly to see it part of Prime. Yeah. So I guess here, generally how they make their money is everyone goes to Prime, and not everyone goes to Prime, but also everyone buys the next tier. And really quick, me and Shane were talking about that pre kicking off the live show, is that there's sure you get to watch movies and shows with Prime if you have Amazon Prime to get your free shipping, but you can't watch it commercial free without paying for an extra tier. And most people want to watch their movies, don't want to watch it with a commercial interrupting. So that will definitely be part of the revenue, seeing how many people in the world upgrade, and then how many people subscribe to Prime in general that haven't. And the first movie they go to, they can check in the analytics, is Masters of the Universe, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see here. We have less than 0 in the house. You can't buy it yet from what I see. I think they want people to get Prime first to see it, and then they will sell it. They're fishing for subs to their service. Yep, that's exactly it. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say the home video, the Blu-ray, where are we now? Mid-July, late July, September? Maybe?
Yeah. I know I have one on pre-order, and I forget now exactly when it said the pre-order would be fulfilled, but I have pre-ordered the Blu-ray already. I think that Mike was talking about, he had got a 4K version pre-ordered. And it's really funny because as soon as I ordered that, the next day, everybody started talking about all this, possible extra footage. And, it seems like that could be a thing too, where they release a version, that's the normal version, and then later might come an extended version or a director's cut, so.
Yeah. It might be they might have us double dip, meaning they might have an initial like 4K home video release, and then 6 months later, kind of like how Lord of the Rings did, they came out with a regular edition, and then 6 months later an extended edition with 20 more minutes, and then fans buy them both. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was a date. If there is, let me know, Shane, because
I will.
I don't think there was a release date on like the Amazon listings, so they've yet to announce. Christopher is in the house. Good to see you, Christopher. Prime has the power. We love to see it. Yeah, I got it playing right now. And unfortunately, guys, for anyone who might be already planning to do this, if you watch this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it really doesn't help the analytics. Amazon doesn't look at that and say, wow, that really justified the $200 million. It's
Boy, this guy really loves it.
Yeah, they see that, but a lot of people were doing that for Masters of the Universe Revolution. They were trying hopefully to up the viewership, but no, it's unfortunately it doesn't work that way. Otherwise, jeez, we already would have gotten that third in the Revolution trilogy. Lasters of the Universe is in the house. Let's go, AJ. Not going to let the power return this time. Yes, sir. I don't know, man. there it is. I'm just so excited. It's playing on my thing.
It's great.
Um, let's see. So we have Niraj in the house. Just saw He-Man ripping off Trapjaw's arm. I want a sequel now. Oh yeah, that is such a cool moment, man.
Definitely one of my favorite moments in the film.
I love that whole moment too, when they're on their bridge and he's sort of discovering his power. You know, he's kind of like, hey, look at me. I got him by the arm and I'm pushing back. And I love that. That thing makes me smile ear to ear.
That was one of my favorite scenes as well. The very part where Trapjaw goes to hit him and he catches his arm and then he catches his other arm and you see him kind of like realize that it's going to be a little easier than he thought. So
yeah, he's like, I got The one thing that people have complained is it shouldn't have hurt him when he punched Trapjaw in the jaw.
Right.
But it's a joke and it's metal. That's the idea that, you know, it's going to hurt more than a regular jaw, you know?
Yeah. And in discussing this, you know, many times over with people, I heard somebody, I forget who said it. It might have even been Mike, actually, that, you know, that was kind of like the first time that he ever had the power in him and he's learning how to use it. Kind of throughout the whole movie, he's learning how to use his power. So since that's the first time he, you know, really physically hit somebody, maybe he just, you know, didn't know how to do it at first. And, you know, who knows, maybe there's a way you can do it without hurting your hand.
Yeah. Grayskull Zombie is in the house. Good morning, AJ and chat. Today is a great day to be a Motu fan and now showing in the best theaters in the world, Masters of the Universe. Yep, the home theater. Yep, for everyone who's got the big TV. Actually, a lot of people during COVID, during the shutdown, really upgraded their home video packages at home, you know, and I think that's why there has been a shift of a lot of people choosing not to go to the cinemas anymore, but consuming their movies at home. You know, they took all those stimulus checks and didn't buy food, didn't put it in the bank and invested it. You know, they either bought home video stuff or toys.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that, you know, when they talk about this not having strong box office numbers, I mean, there's like, you know, a handful of different reasons why that could have occurred, but I really truly think one of them is that people are just choosing to not go out to theaters as much and spend their money there. It does cost, you know, a bit to get tickets to these things, and then if you want to get concessions and all that, and with things going to streaming so fast, and this was incredibly fast going to streaming, so I think a lot of people just were waiting, you know, on this. So
bless your heart. I want to believe that, Shane. I really do. And just, you know, part of me, I know Scary Movie really kicked ass that opening weekend, and their numbers were trending to begin with. Obsession would have beaten Masters of the Universe if they had opened Friday. Masters of the Universe would have been in 5th place behind Obsession and what's Doors or something.
Yes, Backrooms.
Backrooms, yeah. So, and I know, Odyssey's kicking ass. Spider-Man, when you look at Spider-Man now, pre-sales, it's already 2 weeks away. You can't get a seat. I was looking over the weekend.
Oh, is that right? Huh.
You can't get a seat for the screening. When I went to the screening for Masters Universe, the early screening, the Wednesday fan screening, had like 20 people in my theater. Now for Spider-Man, you can't get a seat. Only handicapped is available. Yeah. So I want to believe that, man. I just, part of my brain kind of circuits and says, Masters Universe just might have been a lightning in a bottle for a certain time.
Well, you know, if that was the case, at least we did get this amazing movie out of it. And I truly do think, and maybe I'm just like choosing to be positive, but I definitely think that this, you know, second run of it being in the home theaters will generate some buzz, I think. And I believe people are going to like this movie and want more of it when they see it.
Yeah, let's hope that people watch it, that, you know, give it a chance, that never would have given it a chance to begin with, and really love it. Look, my wife does not like Masters of the Universe until this incarnation. And she came out and she said, you know what? I like that. And I really like that. And she said, I even like the action scenes. She's not a big fan of action. Like, she could like fall asleep during those parts sometimes in those Marvel movies, but she liked the action in this one. So yeah, fingers crossed. We got Citadeli in the house. Morning. I'm on the flight chase through the jungle now. Laugh out loud. Yeah, on the sky sled. I'm not there yet. I'm actually Man at Arms is fighting Trapjaw right now. That cocky Man at Arms.
Yeah.
Ryan's in the house. Inside joke for the host, but Sydney Sweeney for life.
Hey, how's it going, Ryan?
Oh, Ryan. Yes, inside joke, man. Ryan wanted every part to be cast by Sydney Sweeney in this movie. Not just Evelyn and Tila, but He-Man.
Shira for the next one.
She-Ra for the next one. Cringer.
Roboto, voiced by Sydney Sweeney.
Ryan is another one, just like Shane, that we got to meet in person and was so awesome. And Ryan brought his son, which is really awesome too.
Yeah.
Mossman Sean is in the house.
Sean, hey.
Is this another celebrity interview? Yes, it is. The House of Shakoti. Actually, that's a good question, man. Are you House of Shakoti because that's your favorite episode of all time, or is that just the name you picked? Or
That's kind of the name that I just landed on when I decided I had a regular Instagram. I do a lot of hiking out here and do photography, and it was just kind of for that. And I decided I wanted to have a completely separate Instagram for just He-Man stuff, and to kind of, have these two little, areas that I could go to if I wanted something different. And I really didn't think when I started the House of Shakoti one that, I would connect with a lot of people. It's really been wonderful. One of the best things I did was make that Instagram and end up meeting so many different people and, going of course to Motuniverse and meeting everybody in person. But I chose that because I guess that was kind of always one of my favorite episodes. It was just such a different episode. It's the only one that was a 2-part episode, which is strange. And Shakoti is such an interesting character, the desert witch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I loved it. Mm-hmm. I was just wondering if you would have flipped out if you saw Shakoti in the movie. In the background.
Oh, yeah. That would have been great. Of course. Definitely. Yeah.
Mossman Sean, you are awesome. He supports this channel, this podcast in so many ways. What a great guy. He sent me a sticker too. It's really awesome. I think it's upstairs in my bedroom right now. Lasters of the Universe. We all got our Motu shirts on. I got my Fighting for Eternia tank with Cringer. Hard G like your kids said. Yeah, I got you got any of the movie ones yet?
I don't. I have a couple Motuniverse ones, and I have this one, which is great. It's the cover of one of the old Golden Book things. It's probably my favorite one. But yeah, I haven't got any movie merch yet for that.
This is Hot Topic. This one. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I did go to the Hot Topic. I had to buy some shoes the other day, and my rare appearance at the shopping mall, I went into the Hot Topic, but I did not see any Masters of the Universe stuff.
That's because they sold out because it's so popular, baby.
That's right.
Streaming, man. Alex Moore is in the house. Morning, AJ. Good morning from Facebook. It's always good to see you, Alex. So happy you're here. Lasters of the Universe, West Coast.
We're out here representing the West.
Yeah. You know where he came up with the name Lasters of the Universe? He felt he was the last fan to join the fandom. So late.
Oh, yeah.
And he named himself Lasters of the Universe.
That's creative.
But hopefully, with this movie, even now on streaming, there's going to be a lot of people that join the fandom. Even beyond that, not just new ones, but I mean the ones that haven't thought of Masters of the Universe since they were a kid when they had the toys,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So because a lot of people do that, they play with their toys and then leave it behind and don't sort of revisit their fandom or doesn't carry along with them for decades. This clearly made an impression on us, Shane. So, I thought VOD first. Well, you must be answering someone in the chat, I think. So, Warren says, we'll watch it once a week at home. Saw it 5 times at the local cinema. Yeah. Yeah, this was the most as well that I saw the movie in the cinema. I wanted to go even more, but because I'm unemployed right now, I had to limit it. But I tell you, man, this was my happy. Considering, Shane, that I'm unemployed and life is like around me been a real struggle. When I would go in that theater and the music would start playing, man, that was my happy place.
For sure.
That was where I I haven't felt so much joy in the longest time, other than just being happy with my wife and my kids, man. So much joy, and it just I was able to disconnect and go to Eternia, and this couldn't happen at a better time for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's great. I definitely think that a lot of us, that are, really into the fandom really felt that way. It was just like an escape for everybody when you're sitting there and the lights dim and you see that Mattel logo come up and the
Oh,
music starts. It's just, it really transfers you there to Eternia. It feels great. So,
and that music, man, that
yeah.
music is going to be one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. And well, what would be my other favorite soundtracks? I love Tron Legacy. Um, Conan the Barbarian,
Yeah.
Basil Orladiris, I think is his name. But this music is just great. It's the Sorceress, baby. That was the one thing I was wondering about I I wonder why they went with her more white. They were so comic accurate on some. Oh, I love that she turns into a falcon, though. There were so many comic accurate, representations, but they must have tested the colors and realized maybe it was too much blue.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how that
Yeah.
works, but I am glad that they had, hints of blue and orange on her costume. It's
Yeah.
great. I was actually wearing I think it was my Motuniverse shirt. I went to the bank the other day, and one of the bank tellers was asking if I saw the movie, and I kind of chuckled and said that I saw it, 7 times. And she said that a long time ago she had dressed up for a Halloween party and went as the sorceress. And she's like, "Oh, is the sorceress in the movie?" And I was like, "Well, not only is she in the movie, she's the first character you see in the movie as a sorceress."
That's
So
right. That's
yeah.
right. She's flying. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was kind of jazzed about it, and I think that that's another person that's didn't go to the theater to watch it, but will definitely watch it on Prime. I let her know that it was coming out soon, and she was excited to hear that. So
Promote it, baby.
yeah.
Do your part. But again, but like we were saying before, or what I've been repeated, party like it's 1999. Party like this is the last one, because it might be
Yeah.
the last one, So enjoy this moment, guys. Enjoy. Launching on streaming worldwide. There's going to be more people watching Masters of the Universe today, tomorrow, this weekend, maybe than ever. Well,
Yeah.
maybe than the 80s cartoon. I'm not sure how many eyeballs were on it at that time. But this is going to be huge for Motu. So represent. Niraj says, I saw it 10 times in the theater. Nice job.
Right.
He's like that guy in Starship Troopers. I'm doing my part, or I did my part. Or you remember when those kids are stomping on the bugs?
Yeah, that was a great one.
It's like, do your part. And once in IMAX. Let's see. Scorpio says, cool t-shirts. Where did you get them? Well, Hot Topic.
Mine, actually, I saw another person who has kind of a popular Instagram account wearing this, and I reached out to them and said, "Hey, I'm a huge Masters of the Universe fan, and I have a lot of the old Golden books, and including the one that the cover of this is," and asked where they got it, and they said it was some place in Italy, some shop in Italy, and they sent me a link to it, and it took a very long time, but they sent me one, so it's great. But yeah, I don't even really know where this is coming from over there somewhere.
And you wonder how many of these are authorized these days, because there's so many shirts that are not beautiful shirts that are not actual authorized. It's hard to tell, man, these days.
Yes.
Yeah. Das one Nazad. Goy. He seems excited. I don't know what that means. Maybe the kids do, but good to see you. Ryan says he saw it 12 times in the theater, baby. Oh, and look how he spelled theater. Look how he spelled theater, like a European,
oh, yep,
right?
Like a true thespian.
Yes, those Europeans always spelling color different and flavor,
a little flair to it,
Yeah, what do they think? They invented English? Going through medical problems, unfortunately did not get to see it in the theaters. Sorry, Das. That stinks. But now hopefully you get to see it now. Hopefully you have seen it. Hopefully we're not going to spoil too much. Oh, I love that part.
Yeah.
Ram Man is history. See, I just spoiled some of it.
That always got a good chuckle when I was in the theaters. I think everybody kind of liked that part.
Yeah. Last year says 10 times in the theaters with 20 tickets bought total with family and friends. You did your part. You get an award. You get a car. Remember Oprah? You
That's
get a
right.
car. You get a car.
You get a battle cat. You get a battle cat.
Everybody gets a battle cat. Niraj, I love Robato's relationship with Duncan and Man in Arms. Yes.
I agree.
I agree too. Yeah. Especially towards the end when hold your ears. What was it? Daz. Hold your ears, Daz. When he's holding the head, right? You know,
Yeah.
you really felt that connection and stuff. And then the payoff in the end, I won't say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, got to keep it a little spoiler free, but that was truly a great relationship. I thought too. They had that playful, kind of banter going back and forth, but you could tell throughout all of it that they were pretty affectionate towards each other, even when they were bickering. So
yeah, yep. Citadeli, stay tough, Daz. Enjoy it now. The best community in the world. Best community in the world. Just so supportive of everyone. I tell you, when I went to Motooniverse, geez, I probably hugged Shane 10 times. I never hugged more people in my life, even people I'm just meeting. That's the type of community this is, just loving and embracing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everybody was so happy and just so, I don't know, so welcoming there too, and so pleased to meet everybody else and talk to everyone. It's great. And, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier with, how did I land on the House of Chakotay Instagram name and all of that stuff. It's just, going into this, I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of toy photography and really ended up making so many friends, and Motooniverse really solidified that. I know, all of us kind of feel the same way who were there. And that's another thing I hope that this movie does, is it grows our community. I think that a lot of people are going to watch this movie and end up really liking it and might get, involved in that more. I know that when we go on live streams, and I watch other people's live streams, there's always people that are jumping in and saying, hey, this is my first time here, or just, join this, Instagram community. So I hope that it continues to grow and grow, and, that Motooniverse is even bigger next year, and that our online community is bigger. And I just think that this movie is going to, it is such a great community and so welcoming. I think it's, really draws you in. So just like with me, I think once you meet a lot of the people here and talk to people, it really accelerates your want to be a part of this. So
yes, well said. Greatest community, lots of love, lots of hugs. Even an ass grab. Shane grabbed my ass at Motooniverse.
Yeah.
That's just a bonus.
Why? Both hands. Well, it's both hands. One time with both hands. So,
Jeremy from Facebook. Get it, fellas. I'll be watching later after work. Nice. Yeah, look who's Dolph, baby. He's got long hair in there. I remember I think it was HE-MANIA.com broke the news that about Dolph's post that Dolph was going to be, doing a cameo. And when he said he was being fitted for a wig, well, he didn't say he was doing a cameo, but it was putting 2 to 2 together, right? When he said he was being fitted for a wig, I'm like immediately thinking King Grayskull, right? Why else would he need a wig? But basically he was just having an 80s mullet,
Yeah.
So. Oh, well. Don, thank you. I don't have it. All money's to bills, but I want to see what all my fellow fans say. But we both loved it. And Daz, for me, it became my favorite movie of all time. Favorite. I had to watch it a few times to see where it ranked. I knew it was in my top 10 the first time I saw it, and it just got better and better each time I saw it. So it's so excited. And it's, as I said, it's not because I'm a Masters Universe fan, because the 1987 film, even Filmation, my favorite incarnation of Motu, Secret of the Sword, never in my top 10, never in my top 20. So it's not because I'm a Motu fan. It's because this movie is so darn good. And then
it really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex says he watched it at 7 a.m. in the morning before work in the UK. That's a fan, baby.
That's the way to start your day right.
That's dedication. Yeah. He's on Earth. Get off Earth.
And the true villain of the movie is like all the oppressive jobs that, kind of beat us down and make us feel like,
Yes. Yeah. And this is a perfect example, which I love to comment that Adam is us. Okay. When you watch this movie, they did a brilliant thing where Adam, he has he has Eternia on the wall. He has
Yeah.
pictures. He has swords. He even has some little statues and stuff like that. And what is he at work? Dreaming of Eternia. He is
Yeah.
us. And then she says to him, boss lady, she says to him, actually, your hobby is distracting you from your work. Says those exact words, hobby. And I'm like, this is brilliant. Adam, they basically made Adam into us, except he got to go to Eternia. We don't. Daz says, what have I seen? Looks like Duncan is the jam. Yeah, he is. Oh, when I was showing the tablets. Ron E's in the house. Watched right when it came on. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, did it come on like 3 a.m? Is that how it works?
I was snoozing last night when I think that it probably came out, so I'm not too sure. I am actually working today doing a double at the bar, and I can tell you what, that at least one of our TVs is going to be continually streaming this all day today. So
Shane is a trooper, guys. Shane, woke up and made sure to make this by 7 a.m. his time. So he's Pacific time. So, man, he is a trooper. Enjoy all my Eternia peeps. So we got Kiss My Grits, Florida in the house. Hey guys, have you all read about the LG partnership for the streaming premiere? I have. If you own an LG OLED TV, you can use the smart remote and say, I have the power to launch the movie on Prime. Yeah, I was thinking of posting that today. I was sent a press release. HE-MANIA.com was sent a press release from them yesterday. And that is neat. And you know what's really neat is also they sent out this remote to people. And it's in the form of, maybe I can email myself this and then get it on here. So, but it's they sent it in a VHS looking box, and it has the movie poster from Matt Ferguson, the latest movie poster on it, and it looks like it's an old vintage VHS tape of the new movie. But when you open it, there's a remote. Nice. And yeah, you could say I have the power, and it'll play the movie. Athos says Discord is better way to watch movies. Well, I can't promote that here. So especially after Amazon's been so nice to HE-MANIA, so I'm trying to get the Mattel to be just as nice. But Mattel's been good, but Amazon's been great. Glenn says Skeletor's Hissy's fit was my favorite bit. Mine. Yeah. I will have it, gosh darn it. Yeah, mine. It's mine, I tell you, mine. Yeah. Yeah, that's that's when they're on the cliff's edge. Yeah, after they fly away. We have Alpay in the house. Hello there. I have a question for you. In 2030, Shantae and the Seven Sirens will release. Shantae and the Seven Sirens? What am I missing? I'll have to look that up. What are we talking about? Shantae? Do you know?
Maybe there's something that we don't know, something fun coming up. Who knows? Sounds like we have 4 years to wait.
And the Seven Sirens. Oh, video game. Oh, Shantae and the Seven Sirens is the 5th game in the Shantae series. Oh, it's a platformer. Oh, it looks pretty cool too. Oh, so there's what? Maybe a movie? He's saying. Well, that'd be cool. Okay, Ronnie says hopefully it can now find a bigger audience. Yes, let's hope and pray, Ron. And unlike Scary Movie and Supergirl, people were actually positive about Masters of the Universe after they left. Oh yeah, Scary Movie especially got roasted, right?
Yeah,
people were saying that was horrible. So I'm not saying that the other movies were, classic cinema, but I guess in comparison, it might have been the worst Scary Movie yet.
Oh wow.
Citadelli says, when I went to see it on Saturday matinee with granddaughter and a few kids, it was full and glorious. My granddaughter is obsessed. Oh, that's awesome. That's the excitement right there, the fact that if this movie can build a new generation,
Yeah. The very last time I went to see it was kind of a fluke. I had only seen it. I'd seen it 6 times and thought that that was going to be it. And I just happened to randomly look it up one day, thinking that it had left theaters, already, and noticed that there was one more showing at this AMC. So I drove up to the AMC to see it. And in that last one, there was a family that had three very young, I would say probably like 5-year-old, maybe 7-year-old kids in there, and they were super excited about it. And when I walked out of the movie, they were walking out ahead of me, and the kids were really excited about He-Man, and they wanted to see the movie again. And I overheard the mother say, "Well, maybe for your birthday, you could have a He-Man themed birthday party," and the kid was excited about that. So I think that it's definitely growing new generations of fans.
That'd be awesome.
Hmm.
Oh, that'd be awesome. And who knows if this can't generate a sequel, maybe kids, down the road will inspire a new sequel. Or you know what? No, we're gonna have a ton of AI movies. Actually, I saw something on Instagram. It was crazy. It was a Masters of the Universe movie dreamed up by the William Stout artwork of the Bill Stout artwork of the 1987 movie. A lot of the concept art that really wasn't implemented, and I'm like, this is gorgeous. This is how movies are going to be triggered by prompts in 10 years.
Hmm.
You're going to say, turn my favorite comic book into a live action movie, and I'll do it in 5 minutes for you. And you watch it and you'll love it. It's going to be insane. Retro Gamer. Oh, positive review here. The movie was a steaming pile of horseshit. The acting was horrible. The story was something a 4-year-old wrote. Skeletor looked like a complete asshole. So you liked it?
Well, yeah, I guess if you're Skeletor, that probably is a positive review for you. Skeletor is a bit of an asshole, but
well, you know what? I guess this is not going to work for everyone. So, yeah,
true.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. You're like you were saying, Skeletor looked
Yeah.
like a complete asshole. I don't know. Out of all the things, Skeletor looked pretty darn good. I don't think anybody complained with the aesthetic look of Skeletor.
Yeah.
I mean, what else could they have done with him other than make him a little more buff and make his skull a little more yellow?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kind of like almost like stretched, scarred snake skin is a definitely that's a different look for Skeletor for sure, and not what we're used to seeing. But I think it worked pretty well.
I think it worked great.
Mhm.
Critical Zombie. God, I hate Daryl. Yeah. Actually, we're in the Earth sequence now. Oh, this is
Nice.
with the great music. I've got the power. What
Yeah,
a
this
great
is a wonderful scene. You kind of go from the "I got the power" into that
4 9 Blondes.
"Born on Blondes," yeah, into that song. And that's the other thing too, is just this movie is chock full of fan service stuff like that. That's like that's a nod to that meme that everybody liked years and
Yeah.
years ago. So just all the little things that they put into the movie like that, I think they really took the time to make this something that that fans really are going to notice things. And there's a lot of Easter eggs in there too. And I don't think they just slapped this together. I think it was really done well. And Travis Knight did a wonderful job with it.
I just wish that those were put on the soundtrack, but they didn't pay for I guess they only paid for the licensing for the movie. So none of those commercial pop songs were, included. They would have been 10 years ago, 20 years ago,
But I've already thought of this, and one of the things about it coming to streaming that I was really looking forward to is getting to kind of fixate on like, okay, what song's playing, and doing it in order and making my own, playlist on whatever streaming platform you choose,
True.
getting on there and making your own playlist that goes along with it. And you could include all that stuff then.
Yeah, Daryl sucks. Laugh out loud. Alex says, "Don't forget, guys, Bury St. Edmunds in UK on 1st of August. Beastman, Spikor, Ram Man, Mechanic, and She-Ra from the film are going to be there." Yeah, that's awesome. This is going to be one advantage of if you live in the UK and you're a fan, is that pretty much all the actors, all the stuntmen and actors live in the UK, and for them appearing at those cons, easy peasy. But coming to the US, it's a great expense. For someone, usually the convention, especially to fly in a team of them. So let's see here. What else we got? We got Digi Ranger Scott in the house. Good morning. Found the stream via Twitter, but it seemed like YouTube was where the chatter was. Yes. Good to see you, Digi Ranger Scott. Hope you're watching the movie. Beastman, man, looks so good in this one. Oh, Tila did too.
Hmm.
I thought Tila was great.
Yeah.
Uh, this music plays here. But yeah, no, they did a really good job with Beastman. So impressed. Let's see. I don't have as much DI for 10, but I moved from my finished paid screening to one already in progress that day I saw it, which got me the whole third act again at least.
Mhm.
Niraj says, if you, AJ and Shakoti, could be any character from Motu, who would you be and why?
Hmm.
Ooh, Shane.
That's a good question there. I guess, I've always thought like, oh, Shakoti's one of my favorite characters. She's so unique. And then if you think about, I don't know, I'm always leaning towards villains, They're always kind of like a little bit more mysterious and unique, cool, characters and stuff. But I think I would choose to be a good guy if I was going to live in that world. So I would have to pick from that side. I always like Cyclone. I think Cyclone's a really a very cool character that doesn't get enough love. So
I don't know if I could be any character from Motu, it would have to be He-Man,
oh, of
tan
course, yeah.
and jacked, and that would be that would be the one. But other than that, to want to play to have like latex all over me, Webstore has always been my favorite. Other than Skeletor, well, I love Merman too,
Mhm.
but Webstore has always been my favorite vintage figure, and so yeah, Webstore I would love to be, man. And a real web store, cover my face completely, put me in blue. Mossman Sean says, filled up the hug meter until next summer. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So everyone canceled their what do you call them? Escort services after Botuniverse. They filled up on the hug meter. The hug meter.
Yeah.
The low box, Kiss My Grits Florida says the low box office, there just was enough widespread interest outside the fandom, especially from Gen Z, to want to see it in the theaters. Let's hope streaming changes that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, perfect example, I have two kids, well, young adults, and asked them honestly, would you see this movie if I wasn't forcing you to see it? And neither of them said they would go see it. So after watching the trailer. So it's just a prime example. But I think it's really the muscle fantasy barbarian genre. That whole thing went the way of the Western. Western never really came back, but when they try to bring Westerns back once in a while, it's really inexpensive to do, right? You need a horse, you need the Great Plains, you film it in the heartland of the country and you could do it. But the sword and sorcery, muscled loincloth type barbarian, I don't know if that's ever going to come. Fantasy, muscles of the 1980s, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Stallone. Don't think it's ever going to come back. Not like
Yeah, that was definitely a moment in time. We just don't really have actors like that much anymore. Tom Hardy kind of touches it a little bit, and Jason Statham, they're both kind of heavy action characters, but we don't have any of the real, hulking big guys anymore. So.
Yeah. The characters, the superheroes became the movie stars, not the movie stars themselves anymore. Back then it used to be, I'm going to see a Stallone film, I'm going to see the Schwarzenegger film, and now it's not that. I'm going to see the Chris Hemsworth film. No, it's going to be, I'm going to see Thor. I'm going to see Avengers. Grayskull Zombie says, damn, Beastman looks great. He does.
Yeah.
Christopher Griffith says, hi guys, watched it twice already today. That's awesome, Chris. AJ, loved all your cast interviews. Thank you, buddy. We all have the power. We all are the champions of Grayskull. Yes, we are. All right, we're moving to Eternia now. Adam's finally in Eternia. Everyone was worried that most of the movie was going to be in Earth. And at tops, what is it, 20 minutes, I think?
Yeah, they got out of there pretty quick, actually.
Yeah, they got out of there pretty quick. Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest with you, and I actually I love the whole movie. I mean, but if after seeing it multiple times, there was a time where I needed a bathroom break, and I'm like, let me wait for the Earth scenes, because that, isn't the big fantasy spectacle. Let me run to the bathroom during then and then come back. So James Burns from Facebook. Good to see you, buddy. Love this stream. Thanks. So glad that you are here. So glad Shane is here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, Shane, you're a buddy. So And Shane's the legend. One day we're gonna have to talk about Shane the legend.
Oh, yeah, anytime you want.
I know, but right now we are celebrating the streaming release, and I want to give that justice. And Shane came up with the idea of I guess a watchathon or a watch along. Which
Well, I'm sure there's been many ideas had by lots of people, and hopefully that's happening out there. Hopefully there's people that are connecting, like how we are, and watching together over streaming. It's always fun to do with your friends. So
yeah, so I think we should definitely try to do that, and then we'll have to time it with the audience and say hit play now, and try to get like 5 or 6 of us and watch along and drink. Well, I don't know if you drink. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
The 4K DVD just jumped from 41 to 13 in sales today on Amazon.
Nice.
The
That's
LG
great.
streaming premiere partnership and the new YouTube series, I think both Amazon and Mattel believe Motu can be successful. Kiss my grits, Florida. I hope you're right. Really hope you're right. I'm not as confident as some people, but I hope you're right. So I want to believe. Good morning from San Diego. Mandy's in the house. Releasing the Motu movie on the same day of San Diego Comic-Con's preview night is brilliant. Is that brilliant? It might be. I don't know if that's brilliant marketing or not. Doing it the weekend of San. I mean, a lot of the fandom that would be watching Masters of the Universe will be at San Diego Comic-Con. So. But it might be brilliant. I don't know. I'm really not into marketing as much. I'm not as savvy. But now Sean watched it at 4 a.m. this morning. I think I missed the exact stream release by an hour. Yeah. See, that's one advantage for you, Shane, is you on the West Coast. So we have to wait till 3 if we want to watch it, first thing.
Oh, right. We get it at midnight.
You get it at midnight. Yeah. So it's a lot easier for you. I think I did that for Masters of the Universe Revelation. I think I waited to 3. Was it for part 2? I don't remember. But yeah, unfortunately for you, man, that's one advantage. So Ryan says, hit it at 1 a.m. my time on the dot. Yes, I was up to watch. That's awesome. It's the one time Beastman talks. Oh, Pig Boy.
Nice.
I gotta wonder. Someone's got to talk to Travis and say, man, you were a fan of the 87 film, aren't you? Because you included a lot of 87 characters that I didn't expect to come back. Like
Pig Boy was a big surprise.
And Karg, Karg was a huge surprise. Actually, some people might think it's a crime that we basically got Merman no time. I know we have that cameo and the background behind Orko, but we get Karg twice, and Merman was part of the original 8-pack. So
they did a really good job with Karg, because that's kind of like a hated character by me and I think a lot of other people, and definitely in this new rendition of him is pretty disgusting. So I think they did a good job with making him a hateable character, and they put that emotion in it for you where you don't like him and you're kind of rooting for something to happen to him.
He was my least favorite out of the, I love Sarad the Boast, or Sarad, depending on why aren't we landscape? But oh, you know what? Speaking of Beastman, man, I am so happy. Even though it was for a second, they gave him the whip. Oh, they gave him the whip against Cringer. I was worried he wasn't going to talk, and they gave him a voice in the middle of the movie, and I'm like, yes. And then they gave him the whip, which is just such a. Only fans could appreciate that. But Dario JL Sounds in the house. What's up? Watching it now. Good to see Dario in the house. I don't think Mike is. Well, and then again, it's only 7:53. Mike still might pop in. And Jay, who knows? Jay's on the West Coast as well. For San Diego Comic-Con. Think Beyond. It says He-Man in the Masters of the Universe. Dragon Pearl Destruction should be dropping soon, I hope. Jeez. I think that hurt the movie, man. That thing was supposed to drop in April. That was the original release date. And it would have gotten a whole different crowd excited about Masters of the Universe. And it could only have helped the movie to have that video game out. People start playing it and because there's a lot of video game crowd that doesn't pay attention to movie news and stuff like that. And but delaying it was awful. And Chakotay's in it. Chakotay, buddy.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Michael from Facebook. Michael Shane. Guys, I called out sick to stay home to watch it for the eighth
Brilliant.
time. Michael, you are the man. I did my part in theaters. Can't wait to go watch it here in a few minutes. You guys have a great and blessed day and go Masters of the Universe. What a
Thanks a
time to
lot.
be
You
alive.
too. Have fun with
Yes,
your day off.
Michael. Yes, I mean seriously, this is still a pinch me, especially something that is so faithful to the brand, you know.
Yeah. Hmm.
So and mm, is He-Man, yeah. Let's have a watch party at Discord. Yeah, I got to figure out what we could do. I wonder if Facebook allows you to play the movie with the volume on. I don't know, in a little box. Mossman Sean says Shane hikes through Eternia on the regular.
I do. I'm pretty lucky out here to have such a beautiful scenery all around. It's really makes toy photography a lot more fun and a lot easier when you have so many different otherworldly settings out here. So
yeah. Yeah, well, for the premiere, when I first came out for the premiere, it was the first time I was ever in California, so I was very excited.
mhm.
So did see a lot of people exploring the world of drugs on the streets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, out in Hollywood. So Dario says, oddly enough, I am pretty much at the same scene as you are. Nice. Yeah, I kind of
Oh,
started this.
wonderful. We got a little watch party going with you guys.
Rad man, John, he is so awesome.
Mhm.
And he loves to give head. I don't know if you heard that shit.
That was a great line in that. I thought they really had a lot of fun with the characters and play on words and stuff. It was great. The
Yeah,
relationship between those two characters is really great too.
I get why some people hate it, but it hit my type of funny bone. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? That made me
Mhm.
laugh. So I'm a very well, I have an immature sense of humor. So Aster says, I thought it was going to be a watch along. So Shane thought the same thing. So I'm there when it happens. Would have to upgrade to no commercials. No, it's not a watch along, but I think I need to do that. So so maybe I'll schedule that and everyone involved. But I just have to figure out the logistics. We might all have to just quietly watch it together and just talk. That's the only way we're going to get past YouTube. One Kiss My Grit says, one change I'd make to movies beginning is adding a piece about Skeletor to Adam's monologue, revealing how his army was banished to Eternia's dark hemisphere via the mystic wall by the sorceress.
Mhm.
Yeah. Look, a lot of things I would love. I mean, you could have thrown the Snake Man in the beginning, and you could have thrown a Zodak in his chair. Even when they're showing the cloud formations of the Sword of Power, you could have
Yeah.
seen like the Watchers, basically on their chairs. The Guardians, the what are they? The Galactic. Why can't I remember their name? Cosmic Enforcers.
Cosmic Enforcers. Yeah.
Thank you. Say the Watchers like Owatu from Marvel. But that's how he was in Filmation. He was more of a, I can't interfere, I can only observe.
Yeah.
So
I do love though that they name dropped Zodak in the movie. That's great.
yeah.
It's definitely kind of it's fun because as an adult I have a lot of characters that I love now that I didn't really think of that much when I was a kid, and Zodak is definitely one of the ones that I have a new appreciation for as an adult. So I'm glad to hear his name thrown out there in the movie.
Yeah, and I think right in the beginning there, I think him observing, just him in the back, and you see the cloud formation as he's fighting the evil clouds, and they're explaining about the Sword of Power. They should have made him appear and Merman. They should have, if it was Karg, they should have just had Merman appear. He's part of the eight back. I don't know. It kind of felt like you had, one person came up with this great idea that each movie you make, imagine this movie is really successful and you make a lot. It should be every wave of the.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That'd
be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
That would be great. This would make Skeletor's attack on Eternos make more sense because you could have added the scene where Skeletor's destroying the wall, enabling him to catch Eternos off guard. His attack was way too easy. Yeah, and you know what? Kiss My Grits, there was, what Travis Knight said his original cut was 3 hours, so maybe there was more of
Mhm.
this, and they felt it was too unnecessary, dragged down the runtime. Yeah, we'll have to see. It was an interesting choice to put Castle Grayskull so close to Eternos. So
Yeah, I thought that was a strange choice also.
yeah, we'll have to. That's another question for Travis. After seeing it several times, we have Itzo Motu. After seeing it several
Mhm.
times in the theater, I just watched it on streaming for the first time. It's all so moving for me. Yes, yes. Oh, they're in prison now, baby. Um, And Itzo Motu is from Brazil. Good to have you here, buddy. Matthew says the movie's going to be on repeat. Yeah. Alex says, take a look at messages when you get a chance. I am horrible with Facebook messages. It's the worst out of all of them. I am horrible with messages. I gotta look at that. Alex is right. I am wrong. Alex is good. I am bad. Mossman Sean says, yes, I would absolutely watch you guys watching the movie on stream. Possibly bust out a popcorn bucket for that. Mossman, you'd have to come on with us, Sean.
Yeah, of course.
If you can. So last year says He-Man, not in the title, may have hurt too. A dad's son at the theater, and the dad pointed out He-Man. Son asked what it was, and dad said it was an old show. Kid looks it up and said it was out for 2 weeks. Yes, so that is a interesting point. I mean, they were doing. I was reading stuff in regards to audience awareness and so forth, and the phrase "Masters of the Universe" was less well known than He-Man. Shane,
Really? Huh.
yeah, that people like do you know what Masters of the Universe is? No. Do you know what He-Man Skeletor is? Yes.
Yeah.
And often some of them know it from the memes.
Mhm.
So maybe it would have helped if they actually kept the title. Do you know in some countries, Shane, they actually called it He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? Were you aware of that?
Oh no, it wasn't, huh?
Oh yeah, and I actually shared on social media one of the trailers that said He-Man. It was for India. You know what? I wonder if I could pull that up on Instagram, if I could find it real quick and share it. So in the trailer where suddenly the Masters of the Universe logo rolls in. Well, in
Mhm.
some countries they have He-Man and the Masters of the Universe as a
Oh,
logo.
really? Huh.
Yeah, and the branding is different. Some of the posters, and as a where's my profile? As a huge Filmation fan, He-Man and Masters Universe, I would have loved that. I mean, that is my bread and butter in the fandom. So that's the
Mhm.
way I prefer to call this IP. And let's see if I could find it. How long ago was this? There was so much posted. Sorry, everyone, for making a little pause in this, but I just want you to see it because it plays with music. Shane, while I'm looking this up, was there any characters in the movie that you weren't a fan of? The representation at all? Or
Well, I didn't know where we were going to take this. I wanted to remain pretty positive, and I think that really all the characters, all the actors, really, embodied their characters well. The only one that I think that I wasn't super happy with was Evelyn. I just think that and I wasn't a huge, I didn't have any awareness really of Alison Brie's work up until then. And I was told by friends that oh well, she's kind of a more comedic actress, and that really made sense to me because I feel like she delivered her lines almost in too much of a comedic way. I think that Evelyn should have been a little bit more treacherous and evil, and I think that it came across as lighthearted and kind of funny with her. So I wish that had been played a little differently, and I've heard a lot of people say that too. So I think that if we do get a second one, if we're lucky enough for that, I think that they will take it in maybe a little bit different direction. So
I found it on Instagram, but it's saying, sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. I actually clipped, meaning I found it on my post and I had posted a video, but darn it. So, but details at HE-MANIA.com, different titles. Some countries will see the new He-Man movie with the iconic He-Man and the Masters of the Universe branding. All right, so I'll try to find some posters and share it as images in a little bit. But
And you were saying there was movie posters as well that were different that had that on it.
yeah, or advertising for Prime. Actually, here I think I found one here. So let me share to Instagram. Oh, you know what? Let me email myself, and we'll pull them up. Sorry for this break in action, everybody. Yeah, it's just. But it's awesome seeing it used in the actual trailers. Oh, and then someone actually posted and then sent it over to me. They, one of the end credit scenes. Well, we could talk about it. Yeah, I'm sure about Orko. But right before you see the title "Masters of the Universe," or right after that. No, yeah, right before that, when Orko appears and does the lesson of the day, the moral of the day. It says He-Man in the Masters Universe, and seeing it in video and seeing someone record that in a movie theater, it just gave me chills. I wonder if I can actually add that as well. Let's see. No, let me type in He-Man. Okay, I'm going to email just the imagery, and we'll pull it up in a second. Let's read another comment before I pull it up because I don't want to break the momentum. Too bad. Dario says, and I still think Keldor is somehow behind Skeletor. There is a reason he destroys Randor's statue only, specifically targets his statue.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
There was an interview where kind of Travis Knight alludes he's just a demon, but then when I see He-Man talk to him at the end, he's like, I don't know what your deal is. You might be jealous that you're not king, that your parents didn't treat you well. That all sounded like Keldor's backstory.
Very much, yeah. I'm definitely more of a fan of the lore where he's a demon, but I do like, that's exactly what I thought too when I heard that speech from He-Man to Skeletor. I was like, well, that's 100% a nod at the classics lore where Keldor, is involved. So
yeah, so they could actually go either way, if they were ever to continue in a sequel. And be honest with you, I really thought they were going to go there because Jared Leto has such a perfect Keldor face, right? Wouldn't you
absolutely
agree?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just paint his skin blue, just like they did Goatman red, and yeah, give him a little goatee or something like that.
He's got the hair. He's got the hair for it too. So,
all right. So let me.
I did see kind of a funny thing on Instagram where somebody said, "Who knew that all you had to do to make Jared Leto a likable actor was to cover up his face?" So, which I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, but I did think that was kind of a funny comment that I read.
All right, I'm pulling up this imagery finally. Come on, and I know if we are airing this. Come on, guys. All right, I'm just going to pull up this, see if we can show this. So pull up my email. We're going to present. We're going to add, share screen. I'm going to pull up this window here. Hit share real quick. It's small, but it's official. You see the He-Man in the Masters of the Universe?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I really like that image with Skeletor kind of overlooking everything in the background. Very ominous.
Yeah. So, but that actually appears in the actual movie on the big screen. When the Masters of the Universe rotates for us, it's He-Man in the Masters of the Universe. And I think maybe if we searched India film trailer, we'll go ahead and show that. But yeah. So as a fan, especially of He-Man and Masters of the Universe, let me get us back to normal. Okay, that was enough time spent on that. All right, Warren says pre-ordered the He-Man Motu Steelbook from Amazon. Oh, great. Man. I hope they use Matt Ferguson's new poster for the cover. For the Steelbook. I hope it's or at least some other art. They might use. There were those great different pieces of artwork for the IMAX poster and the Dolby poster. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So they might use that for the steelbook. Kiss My Grits, Florida. In some countries, Masters of the Universe has a negative political connotation. So that's why He-Man, the title. Oh, it was necessary. Oh, Masters of the Universe. Yeah, you're right. It's
Hmm.
often referred to the political or the people with the money, right? In our
Oh,
country, in
yes.
our world. The global feud, the
Yeah.
Illuminati, right? That kind of run the
Ah,
world.
yeah, I guess I've
So,
never thought of it that way. I'm surprised to hear that other people do, but yeah, I can see that.
yeah. Uh, Elaine says, hello all. I will see the movie in a few minutes. As in France, we were unlucky and couldn't see it in the theater.
I know this
Yes.
is a big deal for all the French fans. That was really shocking to me to hear that they weren't playing it in theaters in France. So this is going to be a really big day for all the French Motu fans.
Oh, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And it's just so, it was so, some of them had to, I think the closest they could go to was Belgium. And
Mm.
some people did actually go to Belgium, leave the
Yeah.
country to go watch this movie. But unfortunately, I think the idea was that there wasn't a huge French fan base to begin with Masters of the Universe, and then based on their laws, if a movie does appear in a theater, you have to wait some ridiculous long time before you can stream it, like something
Yes,
like
I did read that. That is very strange, but I suppose that that's good for theaters, so.
yes, yeah, it supports the actual movie cinema
Mhm.
industry and it encourages more people or forces them to go to the theater instead of saying, oh, I'll just wait 2 months and it'll be on streaming. No, this time you
Mhm.
have to wait like 12 months or whatever the time frame is. So,
Well, we live in definitely a new world, and that's how it used to be when we were kids. If you didn't see it in theaters, you were definitely waiting, months and months before you got a chance to see it on video.
yep, definitely. And let's see. Kiss My Grits says, I also agree Evelyn was underutilized and should have been given more screen time along with the sorcerers. But if you only got so much time to get the story told, in my opinion, Moss Man could have been removed. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad we got to see Moss Man. I would have
Me too.
loved to see Merman for that period of time.
Hmm.
Um, so regardless, I'm happy, but yeah, no, Evelyn for me was, I love Alison Brie, love her, but I was
Hmm.
always wary about personally that casting to begin with. I always felt she was too girl next door.
Yeah.
And Evelyn, not to use Lena Headey all the time as Cersei from Game of Thrones, and I know she was Evelyn in Revelation and Revolution, but
Mhm.
someone like that, I thought would have been perfect because even though the Filmation cartoon is campy, Evelyn really never was. She really
Right.
wasn't funny. Skeletor was, the bumbling henchmen were, but Evelyn, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, was played straight.
Definitely. And I always kind of thought that as well. Like Evelyn kind of was the more serious one. And I think that her character understood that too. And that's why she was always thinking that maybe she deserved the power and, to be the one. So I wish we would have seen a little bit more of that in the movie.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
more of her treachery, against Skeletor.
Yes, especially the way that he abused her. Man,
Yeah.
he was so
Mhm.
rough to her. Even though the first time she almost seemed like she enjoyed it. I don't know if that's controversial to say. She got her arm grabbed and burned a little, and she
Mhm.
has a little smile on her face. And what
Yeah.
is that syndrome? I forget what that syndrome is. So it's
Stockholm
possible.
syndrome.
Yeah. So it's possible in a twisted way she enjoyed it, but you could tell being grabbed by the throat. Mm-mm, that
Yeah.
wasn't,
Well, I
and
think.
say, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No,
I
you
think
go.
I think they did set that up very well in that sense because you do see, that the first time that maybe she kind of is into that a little bit, but then, when he runs down those stairs and grabs her by the throat, her helmet falls off, and you can tell that she's kind of shocked that maybe that was the first time he's ever been that, direct with her, or abusive to her, and that kind of leads into that final scene where the only time we get to really see her turning her back literally on Skeletor is her running off when He-Man is really taking it to him at the end there. So she decides to leave and not help him.
Yes. Um, if you remember, she's embarrassed in Masters Universe Revelation. He's embarrassed when, in front of all of the other henchmen, Skeletor, Mark Hamill Skeletor grabs Lena Headey. I think she's, doesn't he choke her? I think he chokes her. Well, whatever. He abuses her. So, Oh, I think I found it on X here. Let me see if I can share this screen instead here. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can share this one instead. Da, da, da. And we're gonna look at the logo, how it looked like in the movie. Beep, 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 beep. Let's see.
Well, while we're hanging out here, are there any characters that you would have really liked to have seen in the movie that you didn't get to see? What are some characters you were hoping and holding out for that might not have got screen time?
Oh, yeah, let's definitely talk about that. Okay. Oh, come on. What the heck? Fox News Spunda Mundo? What? All right. Patriot Oasis? None of this stuff I follow. I was just on the HE-MANIA page.
It's a news alert. They're all letting us know that it's streaming today.
Oh, there. Oh, I must have hit. Yeah, I must have, because I went back. I must have hit on something trending.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's great. Huh.
Can you hear the music too, Shane?
No, I cannot hear the music. I could just see
Okay.
the logo though. But yeah, I do like it like that quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was thrilled to see that and kind of jealous. So, but
Yeah.
that might be right. What was it? Kiss My Grits said it might be right. It might be to the political connotations. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that.
character wise, well, first, I think we had to have Merman in there. I'm glad
Yeah.
Merman was behind earmuffs for anyone who hasn't seen the movie. Behind Orko. But that was just a pullover mask that they quickly put together. It was a pullover latex mask. It wasn't really a thought out prosthetic, So
Yeah, but that is something that I really enjoyed hearing about, was that the people involved in making these masks and working behind the scenes listened to the fans online, and a lot of people were saying before the movie was released that they definitely wanted to see Merman, and I think that they heard that and they delivered, in any small way that they could. So
yeah, I think Merman really needed to be there. I mean, like Pig Boy justifies himself, right? Because Pig Boy, he's sort of a lackey. He's not a fighter. He serves sort of He-Man, Skeletor, excuse me. So I love that he was included, but to bring Karg back over Merman, I think, and maybe there's this elaborate idea for a sequel, that the sequel would go into the water and Merman would become the big threat, but you can't always just assume you're going to have time to have a sequel. And this is part of the original 8-back, this is one of the main villains, Beast Man, Evil Lynn, Merman, right?
Mhm.
So I think that was really a missed opportunity. And like I said, I would love to see. It's great that he's in the background, but it wasn't a true Merman. I mean, if they would have made him a character, it would have been prosthetics, moving mouth, he could talk. Who knows what the voice would be? It would be great if they kind of mimicked the Alan Oppenheimer, sounding underwater kind of voice. So Merman number one, but then for my personal wants, oh geez, I mean, it would have to be Web Store, like I told you, because Web Store is
I would pick definitely Web Store or Stinkor, I think would be two that I would love to see. And of course, Faker as well.
So, Faker. Wow, that would have been something. So with Web Store, first, I think aesthetically he would have been gorgeous, especially if they were mimicking everything, like how the Trap Jaw was like the character, the action figure brought to life. The blue in Web Store, it would have been so, because I don't think, other than Pig Boy, which is sort of like a light grayish blue, and Skeletor, you got his blue skin, but I just think he would have been really something to see on screen. But
absolutely, and I was really shocked at their portrayal of Spikor. Really just blew me away. It's we've never seen him this way before. He was terrifying, and I think that with Webstore being kind of one of those, almost like on the fringe of, I remember being a kid and I felt like Webstore could easily slide between the Horde and, Skeletor's henchmen, because he had that element of horror to him. And I really think that they could have done a very, very, very creepy Webstore and gave us something terrifying.
there was it was a Masterverse comic series that came out, if you remember, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and they were individual. Was what do you call it? When they're individual stories, I forget what do they call it.
Mm.
Escapes me, but there's a term for it. So, but one of the stories was a horror-based story, and it featured Castle Grayskull Man. It featured Web Store. It featured Batros, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, and then I'm looking at like my new Eternia Trapjaw figure, which is a very horrific looking figure. It's awesome, that Trapjaw figure. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this could really play off as horror as well. You know, maybe not necessarily they wouldn't invest so much in the film, but in television or at least in comic books, you could do a total horror kind of take on Motu, and it would be fantastic. You know, body horror kind of thing. And because Trapjaw, you look at him, you look at that. Is he accessible? No, he's way in the back. That figure looks like body horror. That new Eternia Trapjaw figure. Yeah,
they did a wonderful job of that. That's one thing that I mean, I love these new Chronicles figures that we're getting, but something that I was really kind of bummed about was they just got some momentum behind the new Eternia line of Masterverse, and all of those figures did have that a little bit like darker look to them, and it felt, like you said, a little more horrific. That figure especially was one of the first ones where I was just like, wow. The jaw was articulated, and if you moved it down, you could see kind of all the gore underneath of there, you know, where his jaw had been ripped off. So
yeah, it was wonderful. And so it definitely can, there definitely can be a horror incarnation, and I was kind of pushing that way back in the day, wherever I could, on HE-MANIA. And then I think it was in a podcast. Maybe it was with Tim Seeley when we had him on, because he wrote those. That this is really a direction they need to go, but they haven't gone that way yet. But maybe one day. But yeah, I think that's it. Other than those would have been my main one. Oh, Stratos, of course. Stratos, right? It would have been great to see Stratos, but that's another character they might have been saving for the sequel, you know.
Oh, well, I think definitely if there's a sequel, we're going to have Stratos is going to be a main character of it, I believe.
Yeah, and maybe Buzz Off, since you're going to the skies anyway. Yeah. So Kiss My Grits says from Florida, Kiss My Grits, Florida. If we're lucky to get a sequel, Evelyn should get a larger story arc, because with Skeletor defeated, she's now in charge of Snake Mountain and ends up making a deadly deal with Hordak to revive Skeletor. Yes, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. You know, in a way, it kind of makes me believe that because they got analytics way in advance, right? I remember talking about how Scary Movie was favored to beat Masters of the Universe, 3 months before the movie came out, I think. And to be honest with you, I put an article on HE-MANIA.com, got a lot of heat over it, you know. They're like, you're crazy, Scary Movie's not going to beat Masters of the Universe. And I'm like, I don't want it to. I'm just they have the analytics online, you know. These movie studios pay a lot of money for these analytics, and they query fans and say, you know, are you aware of what Masters of the Universe is? Are you aware of Scary Movie? And then how much are you willing to go see it in the movie theater, you know, and stuff like that. And Masters Universe wasn't testing well. And I guess to get to my point, long story short, because we were talking about Hordak, Kiss My Grits, is they showed their hand with She-Ra, right? We got to see She-Ra post transformation, and that feels like they wouldn't have done that if they felt more confident that they could continue on, because you want to be able to see Adora transform into She-Ra for the first time. You know what I mean? You don't want to put it in an end credit stinger already, because now we've seen She-Ra in live action. It's not even just her hand and her sword. We get to see even the profile of her face. And the costume, and it's the Filmation looking costume. So that's what they call blowing your load early. It's so I have a feeling that, you know, at the end they were like, let's just go for the gusto. Let's just give as much as they can to everyone, including maybe Merman at the end credits scene, you know, because there's a good chance we might not be able to come back and do it again, you know.
Oh, if they do though, and we get the Horde, that's another thing I think that they could make just incredible. I would love to see Hordak, Leech, Grizzlor, all of those characters. I think they could just do so much with them.
Of course. Oh, it'd be amazing. And don't get me wrong, everyone. No, nothing. nothing would make me happier than get a sequel, or at least a streaming series, right? Some
Mhm.
sort of live action continuation. I'm not sure if these big stars would continue. Like, would Nicholas come back for a streaming series now that he's a movie star? Would Idris come back for a streaming series? I don't know.
Yeah. But then you look at the other characters. I wouldn't want to say the smaller roles, but not He-Man and Jared Leto and Nicholas and all those. I feel like everybody really when you see interviews with them, they really love playing the character. And
Yes.
Fisto had his little Fisto with him on the red carpet and everything. And I think everybody was really amped up to do that and loved their role in the movie. So I would like to think that many of them would continue on if they were asked to.
Oh, guaranteed if they were focusing like on a team up between Ram Man and Mechaneth, both those actors would be there. I asked them, and both of them would be there in an instant.
Mhm.
And for a lot of these heroic warriors and evil warriors, Master of the Universe was in a way their big break.
Yeah.
Because they were primarily stunt people, and now they've taken on this role. So they would love to be star in a series, and maybe Camilla would be
Mhm.
willing to come at a Tila led
Yeah.
streaming series. It's not necessarily, I mean, everyone wants He-Man. I'm not trying to wish that away. It just ways around it if
Mhm.
Nicholas wasn't willing to come back for something like that. But no, all things being equal, I would love it, geez, to have a string of movies, man. Woof.
Yeah.
Like, and to get sick of them, like
Mhm.
Transformers. Another one. All right, we have Danny saying, I've just watched the movie again, giving my pitch of salt to contribute for this movie. Yes, sir. There we are, guys. This is before he becomes badass He-Man, right?
I gotta say, this was my bathroom break scene right here. So one of the things I definitely did not like about the movie, I think my main critique of the movie was this scene where there's that awkward, moment between Tila and He-Man, where He-Man's kind of infatuated with her, and they have that, Tila does that finger guns thing and says we'll always be friends, and that's it. And it was just kind of like took me out a little bit. It felt misplaced, but
Oh, well, she's just pushing back and putting him in the friend zone. I think she truly feels for him
yeah,
romantically, but then she's like putting herself in check. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, this is not something I should follow. He's a friend, and besides, they have other things to focus on. And I
Mhm.
don't know. I actually love that. But then again,
Oh,
it's my favorite movie of all time. It's a genuine feeling, and I'm so excited. Like I've said many times, Shane, that I'd rather have one movie that I love, that I deeply
Yes.
love, than three movies that I just like and say,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly.
And this one, man, I feel so
Oh, yeah.
grateful.
It checked all the boxes for me too. I love the storyline. I know that that's been an area of contention with a lot of people too. Is like, oh well, I don't like the characters seem like they don't even know what their names are. But it's like, I love that because we all know that they do actually have regular names. So to hear themselves being called Fisto and Mechanic, is probably really strange to them. Learning about these nicknames that they didn't know they had. So
I saw someone question on X. They're like, "Oh, I hated how maybe it was X. I hated how the movie gave them real names without giving them real names." Meaning, their understanding of Motu when they were kids is the characters did not have real names. Their real names was Ram Man. Their real
yeah.
names was Fisto. And that came later with additional lore. That came with the Masters of the Universe Classics line.
Mhm.
That came with the 2000X show. That some people were given actual names, and their bios were sort of expanded upon, which I love. But some people actually didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well, I think that was kind of part of the great fan service they did for us because that was kind of like, a glimpse into all of our childhoods too, where we knew them as Ram Man and Mechanic. But then, as you get older, like you said with the classics line, they have different names and stuff. And that was He-Man's kind of, coming to Eternia and being like, well, I know that wasn't your proper name, but I was 10 and that's what I called you, so.
Yeah. Oh, I love how they incorporated that. Now, some people thought it could just go serious and say, just treat it like it's his name, and
Yeah.
audiences will accept it and say, "Hey, Ram Man, come over here." Maybe it would have worked. I'm not sure. I'm not sure to regular audiences. Ram Man, hey Fisto, come over here. I don't know, but I thought it was a wonderful explanation for these.
I did too.
Because these names are so silly, so silly. Jeez.
Yeah.
Stinkor, if he would have appeared. You know, or even Evil Lynn saying, "This is Moss Man,"
Yeah.
because she didn't know his name or what
Yeah,
he.
I thought that was a great, scene too when she says that. And also, if you notice, like when Beastman comes back, she only refers to him as the Beast,
The
so.
Beast, yeah. Oh, yeah, I thought it was an ingenious way to incorporate such silly childlike names that are very
Yeah.
hard to put in a modern context, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Lasters of the Universe says after the first battle on Eternos. Oh, at the first battle on Eternos, is the palace overwhelmed because they don't use tech? The guards pull out their axes and swords and get blasted. The only gun is pulled by Duncan, an inventor. That's a great observation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tila has a gun as well, right? Her staff is a gun, but it looks like an old school gun in a way.
Yeah, like a musket.
Like a musket, yeah. And that could be that's a great observation, though. They could be more reliant on sorcery and sword and sorcery. And then again, they do have the ships, though, right? Or wait, well, they have the Sky Sled. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
the Talon Fighter. I think
Yeah.
it's the Talon Fighter that Tila's flying. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a scene where when they're coming into Eternia after she gets Adam, you kind of see a sweeping view of Eternia, and the ship goes past, and you can tell that it's like the Talon Fighter on there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But
Well, I mean,
along with her weapons too, saying that rifle thing that she has is kind of like a musket. If you notice, I don't really recall at this point if she takes her sidearm out, but you can see the handle of it sticking out, and it's very reminiscent of like an old like revolver, like 6-shooter kind of handle and stuff. So.
and if you remember back in the 1987, or the original scripts, and back in the 1987 movie comic, they did suggest that they were Earthlings, Eternians, right?
Yeah.
They were all originally from Earth. I don't know if I like that. Actually, I don't like that. But I mean, you could go there. You could start piecing that together with the muskets,
Yeah.
Or
well, when I initially saw her weapons before the film came out, it had me kind of guessing and hoping that we might get like a Rio Blast appearance, being that he's kind of like an Old West kind of cowboy, and that maybe that's where those weapons came from. But
Rio Blast, I grew to love, but I didn't like him when I was younger because it went too far for me. It was too earthy to me. The Western, and especially if you consider him with an accent. Yeah, I mean, this is an Earth. What would you call it? An Earth behavior, right?
Yeah.
Culture, right? This really shouldn't be Eternian culture, the Western culture,
Right.
So, but that's when they started throwing everything at the kitchen sink. Holland's Day is in the house. I started watching now. Going to tell everybody to join me at the weekend for an Amazon and chill. That's awesome. Yep. Okay, here we are.
Nice.
They're in Snake Mountain now. This is like one of the best action scenes I've ever seen.
Snake Mountain 2 just looks amazing. That was another thing with the movie where when you see Snake Mountain for the first time, it is just like, it's everything I wanted that to be. So
yes. It was it was that is just like a dream fulfilled. And seeing the bone throne, you know what I mean? I just wish we got to see more of it. We did get to see Skeletor's like a sleeping chamber.
Yeah.
But, I would have loved to see more of that. I would love to see more of Eternia, but I get it. It's it's a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, and that's why I'm hoping, I'm wondering if we do get a 3-hour cut at some point. Are there going to be scenes other than Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain, Subternia, or is it all going to be a lot on Earth? Right.
I do like there's a scene where they're breaking out of the little jail cell that they're being held in, and some of the villains are kind of sitting around a table, and I've kind of been in my head calling that like their break room or something like that. But you see Spikor's there, and he kind of has the bandage on, and they're all kind of recouping, and I think that's the last time maybe in that part where you see I think what am I thinking of? Triclops, I believe, is there too.
Niraj says, did we figure out what the coughing was about when the heroic warriors broke out of jail? So
yeah, that's the scene.
Someone who saw the screening way back, a test screening, said they saw the silhouette of Stinkor in another cell, and that's where the fog was coming from, which makes sense because they're puking. It's not just coughing; they're puking. Oh my God, it's horrible to smell. The fact that if that's true, and that's what they saw, and I have no reason not to believe it, why would they cut it out? No idea, because it makes no sense now.
Right. Because that wouldn't be for time, if it was just like panning over and seeing the silhouette.
Yeah. Or seeing them at the table, Stinkor at the table, that would have been. So, no, I don't know for sure. And be honest with you, I'm kicking myself because it's something I should have asked Barry Gower. I had him on the podcast. He handled all the prosthetics. And I asked all the simple stuff, meaning I asked even about the Goatee man that was driving the Roton.
Yeah.
And we even talked about like the dog man and the lizard people that were kneeling in front of Skeletor when he turns Moss Man into mulch. But the one thing I didn't think of asking is, did you do a Stinkor? So I got to find out. I have to make that. Let me write that down. I will talk to someone who worked on the film, maybe off the record. Well, now that it's on Amazon, willing to say Stinkor. One-offs. Oh, that would be awesome. Jonathan says one-offs. Yeah, if we had like one-off mini movies, different. Man, I wish I remembered what this is called in fictional medium, but you have different stories. One-offs is not the word.
Yeah, I love that idea, though. You kind of delve further into it. And like we said, there's so many of the actors that I think would just, jump at the chance to play this role again or, go further into it. And one of them, I think, for sure, is Moss Man. I feel like, we have the whole Justice for Moss Man, movement kind of started by our friend Moss Man Sean. But, I think that a lot of people would like to see that character more. And it would be great to see maybe like a prequel situation where we could see Moss Man in Preternia, perhaps, or like his origin stories.
Jonathan, anthology. That was the word. So anthology, that's the word I was looking for. If you have like a book with many different short stories in it, it's called an anthology. So Masterverse was an anthology comic series. It was 4 issues, and each comic had multiple stories, right? So it'd be great if we got an anthology even series, right? Or each episode followed Ram Man, one followed, Mechanic or what have you. Little adventures on Eternia. Oh, I would love that. Citadeli says they all signed sequel contracts. Yes, I 100% believe you. Citadeli, absolutely. That usually goes with all talent, except if they're really famous. Sometimes you could just avoid that. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, their contracts is probably for sequel movies that maybe have conditions of being released in the theater, and they might not be under contract for doing a series if they wanted to go that route, or a movie for streaming only. So that's really what I'm thinking. Citadeli. Kiss My Grits, Florida. AJ, I would have given Merman a brief early cameo, by showing him giving Skeletor the mystical dragon pearl, which gives Skeletor and Evelyn amplified power to conjure a mighty army to conquer Eternos. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Or you know what? Have Merman showing up at Subternia, right? And it's Aquaticans when they're breaking out of jail and just trying to get away. It's Aquaticans coming in, and it's Merman with Skeletor. Just give them sort of a little time to shine. Yeah, because instead we've got more rarer characters. We got Pig Boy's on it, like you said, he's on Team Pig Boy. He's a different character. To me, he feels essential. But you have Karg, you also have Goatman, right? Goatman isn't a very popular. I love Thor's presentation of him. I love he looks like Satan himself. I love Goatman in the movie. But yeah, I mean, not people weren't clamoring for Goatman when he was announced, but people were definitely clamoring for Merman, and but that would have been a great idea.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to have all these ideas of like, oh, if there's a sequel, what would you like to see, or what could possibly happen? And I just, Sam Wilson was just like, for me, I think he was the best actor in the whole movie. He did such a great job. He's you know, he's on the same level as Skeletor and Evelyn. I think he's very much a main character of the movie, and to see him, I mean, we don't see it happen, but it's assumed that he perishes, you know, at one point in the movie. But what I kind of would like to think is that he maybe jumps out, saves himself before the explosion, and falling into that water. Maybe that's a good opportunity to bring Merman into the fold. Like he might, you know, be rescued by Merman.
Yeah, yeah, held hostage.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
can't imagine a sequel without having Sam Wilson come back again.
Yeah, I think Trapjaw is one of those that, you know, they feel like they'll need to bring back. They'll need to bring back Skeletor, but the rest, I mean, they were like, "Oh, I hope Goatman comes back for sequel." I'm like, "Why? We have so
Yeah,
much." Meaning, Goatman was great,
yeah,
fantastic. I love it, and he's the creepiest. If I was going to be in the dark with one of those, who would I be most terrified of? Freaking Goatman, even over Skeletor. I'm sorry that
no.
he looks like the devil. He looks like the guy from Legend, but more evil, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's very, very much like that. The darkness, I think, is what they
The
call it. Yeah.
darkness, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's great. I really have to go with Spikor on that though. I just feel like he's so terrifying. And there's a scene in there where he kind of like opens his mouth to do like a weird growl or something like that, and all this black sludge pours out, and he just seems like something out of a nightmare.
So, but that's my great point is that Spikor, he was great, fantastic, right?
Mhm.
They don't need to bring him back. If they were doing a sequel, there's so many other villains to
Oh
bring
yeah,
in their
definitely.
place. I would say
Mhm.
don't bring them back except for the staples, you know,
Yeah.
Evelyn and Skeletor. Maybe if you want to, Beastman, but give the other characters light, you
Mhm.
know, and you could do the same thing. We don't need Fisto back, right? Oh, I would want Ram Man back though.
Yeah.
And you have to bring Tila, you have to bring He-Man and Duncan, but
Yeah, that's true.
well, I want them all back, but I realize, you know, your casket's so huge. But yeah, you have to definitely, at least with the Evil Warriors, you know, you have to let some other ones shine. Because I would love Mossman to come back, right? So to regenerate, you know, and actually give him some time to shine. He didn't even have a word of well, he did have a word of dialogue, right? No, that was it. Like, beg for your life. No. And then yeah. We have Doctor in the house. Dr. Alcourt says there's not going to be any series, guys. The movie was trash. It did not tell a compelling narrative, and it did not honor the IP. Sorry, but Motu is probably toast. I loved it. So and you can't gatekeep me and say I wasn't a fan. I've been a fan since I had original Wave 1 toys. I'm that old. I'm not going to tell my age, but I mean, as a little kid, I've been a fan of Filmation all my life. I felt an honored Filmation so much. So we'll agree to disagree. In regards to Motu probably being toast, it might be in regards to movie and series. You know, it definitely didn't do well in the box office. Not going to sugarcoat that.
Right. Yeah, whether or not we get another movie, you know, I mean, obviously I think that all the fans want another movie. That might not happen. That might just be, you know, kind of a dream for us. But I don't think that Motu necessarily will ever be toast. I mean, there's just, you know, it started in the 80s. It had like a resurgence with 2000X. It resurged again after that with the Classics line, which was huge. The Classics line, I think, really did a lot for bringing it back, you know, into a different generation. And now we have this, and it just seems that like that Masters of the Universe kind of always comes back, you know, for a new generation somehow. So I hope that that trend continues. I just don't think it'll ever be dead, you know. But as far as movies go, yeah, we might not see another one.
Yeah,
but.
I was just totally talking about live action. Do you know what I mean? And then, like I said, they'll get a certain point, unfortunately, that everyone's going to be creating their movies with an app, their own movies.
Yeah.
And then they could create as many live action Motu movies. They could take a mini comic, make it into a live action movie. I mean, it's scary, it's sad, but it's true. Myth Forger Game says, watch it again for breakfast and started crying of joy again. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited that we could watch this now at any time we want. You know, I know there's people out there that pirate the movie, but we could see it legally and all its glory and all its high resolution too, because they're playing it in 4K as well, streaming it in 4K. So Citadeli says best movies to watch over and over are not 5-star movies. This and Fifth Element are my favorites at the moment. Yeah, I mean, well, Yes, I would agree to that generally, at least in my case, meaning like I realize Shawshank Redemption, which is a wonderful movie, and you probably agree, um, is a better movie than say Guardians of the Galaxy, which I love. But, technically. But
Mhm.
Guardians of the Galaxy is more rewatchable, or Schindler's
Yeah.
List. Didn't that win Best Picture, I think, with Liam Neeson, about the Holocaust? But that's not something you go back and rewatch over and over again.
Well,
So,
definitely. And like when you were saying that Master of the Universe is, by leaps and bounds your favorite movie now, I would say that it's probably my favorite movie as well. Do I think it's the best movie ever made, or is it in my top three of best movies of all time? I don't know that that's the case, but I think it's maybe my favorite movie.
right.
So, mhm.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite movie of all time. But again, I caveat favorite, and most
Mhm.
of that is genre stuff. You got the Terminator. You have I love Mad Max Fury Road, and then but even if you go down to top 20, I do have some stuff like Whiplash. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, the drumming
uh,
movie. Oh, you need to see that. But Shawshank Redemption is wonderful. But usually, yeah, it's genre stuff that I appreciate the most. The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing,
oh yeah, wonderful.
and of course, it's not going to be John Carpenter's The Thing and The Terminator are in my top 10, but they're not going to be raised above, I guess, The Godfather, right? Or Citizen Kane or
Exactly. Yeah.
stuff like that. So I realize in regards to filmmaking as an art, there's movies above that, but they're not my favorite, right?
Mhm.
This one, Masters Universe, connects me on all different levels, and
Definitely.
especially with me being a Filmation fan, I freaking adore it.
Yeah.
Um, Damien says my favorite two Motu characters from the 80s are Whiplash. Oh, Whiplash and Count Marzo. So I'm hoping they get a good movie appearance. I forgot about Whiplash,
Yeah,
dude.
Whiplash would be a good one.
Woo, that would have been great seeing his tail whip around. And then Count Marzo too. Oh yeah. And people forget, man, he's originated from Filmation. So it was strange because there were a lot of new villains, but not many brought back.
Yeah.
Newly created villains in the Filmation, lore, in the Filmation incarnation. But Count Marzo, I think they brought back 3 times. So,
Mhm.
and it was so weird because his schemes always involved kids, always. And it was kind of creepy in a way. It always involved the kid. One time he was giving kids drugs. I think you could call that like Black Lotus or something like that.
Oh.
Or is that other one that he was giving that girl drugs, the Tila's friend?
Oh,
Man.
right. I definitely remember that episode you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where she wears a bikini. Yeah. Oh, look who it is, Mike. You're supposed to join us.
Hey,
You're
hey.
all up too early. Not laughing. All right. Well, here. Well, what I mean by this is sort of an inside joke here, is you see this emoji here? Mike sent that to me yesterday, and I'm like, why are you laughing at me? And he goes, no, that's a smile face. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's a laughing. He goes, no, the one with tears is laughing. Long story short, Micah got involved. He said they're both laughing emojis, And I pointed out to him, when you smile, do you close your eyes? No, that's a laughing emoji, but one is like laughing and then was laughing so hard I'm crying. It's like extreme laughter. So, how would you rule in on the smile or laughing emoji? How would you rule in on that one?
I feel like they're both laughing emojis. I think one of them is you're laughing a little harder, like that.
Yes.
Exactly. Tears are coming to your eyes.
Sorry, Mike. Let's see. The names are legendary. Let's see. Kiss My Grits, Florida says, in the Toys That Made Us Motu documentary. I love that documentary. Ready, guys?
Mm.
Bong. It's Roger Sweet. You're not laughing. A Mattel exec admitted that several character names were developed under the influence, which makes us think like a child. Yeah. I love that Merman was originally Seaman. Seaman.
Right. Yeah. I love that they changed the name.
Oh no, He-Man's Seaman has jumped onto He-Man. He-Man's covered with semen. Oh, just imagine the jokes in that one. Collector Phil, past midnight here in Tokyo, enjoying this live AJ chat with a cold brew. Oh, Collector Phil, you are awesome. Collector Phil, I believe, is also another web store fan. He's in Tokyo. Good to see you, buddy. Phil, haven't chatted to you in a while. So happy you're here. Man, streaming. I hope you could stream in Tokyo. What time is it in Tokyo? Are they ahead or behind us, Shane? Do you know?
Oh gosh, I'm not too sure. But I do know that another friend of ours is in Japan right now. Damien had sent me some images of the Japanese movie poster, talking again about movie posters and how different they are. But that is just a gorgeous movie poster. If you get a chance to see that, it's great. I'm sure they had a few different ones, but they look pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Always do it nice. Hope Motu movie Brian May will get physical CD. The music is epic. Yeah, I pulled out before, like, speaking of Attorney and Royalty, Mike didn't know there was a Masters of the Universe Revelation LP. There's a full LP that came out and it's exclusive. And I'm trying to see, I pulled it out, but I don't know what I did with it. Yeah, but it's wonderful. But I hope they come up with a limited edition, LP for this, just to have a physical copy of it would be wonderful, and have the jacket art and stuff like that. They did pre-sell a 45, the smaller records. Do you remember those? That used to have a single on one side, and that you could order, and it has the Eternian theme song, and then on the other side it's Masters of the Universe, the Darkness. The Lords of Power. Oh, speaking of Lords of Power, who don't know his emojis? Mikey's in the house.
Hey, what's up? Good morning.
Look, I'm smiling and my eyes are squinting.
But they're not closed.
But that's not that. Look at it. Look at
it. Hey, Shane has ruled.
No,
oh well, I don't know.
You guys suck. Well, when I send that to you, I'm just gonna preface when I send that to you. I mean, I'm smiling. I'm not laughing at you.
Special rules.
I'm not changing my ways. I've been sending that for years as a smiling emoji.
We will allow the special rules for you, Mike.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Damien in the house says, so any idea on the orange-black character during Adam Plan scene? He resembles a clawful species a bit. There's two different variations, but he came out and said his name was Komodo.
What's his name?
Yeah, Komodo.
Komodo.
And it was funny. He was posting all this stuff originally, and then he had to put his stuff away. I think Amazon slapped him, just like the woman who played She-Ra for posting things early. So I think now he's very tight-lipped until I think probably a few weeks from now, once it's streamed long enough, then I think he's going to be able to talk about it. So some of these guys, I think, got these big breaks, and then just don't know the rules, aren't movie geeks like us. Because if we got a big break, we'd know the rules. Like, don't freaking show the end credit scene,
right?
The weekend of release.
Yeah, the She-Ra one. I can't believe that they thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. Well, and it was also an illegal filming of it. It was like, what are you doing? You're posting someone's like illegal filming of it.
She didn't know. We've talked, and then I talked to someone else also about her, and she meant well, but yeah, she has no idea, and she's really not entrenched in the fandom. She doesn't even know much about end credit scenes. She doesn't know the whole Marvel way,
Right.
Yeah, so
right. She's from the UK too, right? So I mean, that's kind of a totally different, like, even just suing people. I remember people. I think it was in. Who were you interviewing? And they were like, oh yeah, this whole Sue happy culture that the US has, like, it's just great. Not like that.
I think it was Mechanic. It was James.
Yes,
James Wilkinson was saying it was a whole different sort of, mentality. Yeah. And no one gets really angry over there, but over here, people get furious. Jonathan Sickle. Oh, Johnny Blues. Yes, this is live, buddy. We've been live. We've been streaming. Look where I am.
You can tell I look like shit, man. I literally just woke up. But yeah, check this out.
We've been there.
Nice.
You started streaming early. So I started streaming since the show, and we're already hugging on the path to Castle Grayskull. You know, Shane
Today's
came up
brought
with
to
an
you
idea.
by Home Depot.
Shane came up with an idea with a rewatch-a-thon, or rewatch along. You know, getting a group of guys together, having everyone start watching it at a point of time, and just sort of doing a commentary for it. So I definitely want to do that. So that was a good idea by Shane. So
that would be great. We should definitely look into doing that.
Now with YouTube, we won't be able to play it. You know, we'll just all have to like maybe have an earpiece so we can listen, and then Jonathan says yes, it's live, and I know it's early, Mike, but it was early for Shane too. But Shane,
you know, I'm thinking I got like the worst seat in the house here. I'm just realizing there's so much light coming from behind me. Everything, it really got bright out all of a sudden. So
you're angelic, man. You're like
Shane, what time are you up this morning? I tried to stay up for the midnight streaming, right? So I went to bed at like, I don't know, 1 something. Like I fell asleep during the movie, so 1 something.
Yeah, I probably went to bed around that time. So
yet he was up at 7 a.m. He was like, I'm doing it for the community. He said Mike won't do it. He doesn't really love the community, but
that's
I do.
What I said.
I got a long day ahead of me too, guys. Like,
exactly.
I'm going to preview night to show off everything. So I'll be sending a lot of stuff your way, AJ. Get ready to get your typing fingers out.
My typing fingers. I was no, I'm just teasing you, Mike. That's all. So we actually have had a great show, and so many people have been contributing, exciting about streaming. And there was a bunch of people that haven't been able to watch. We talked to, I forget his name, but one is just medically struggling through some stuff, you know, so wasn't able to go to the theaters, but now can finally watch it today, which I'm so excited for.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Johnny says he stayed up all night and watched Motu 3 times. Nice. Damn. 3 times.
Trooper,
he must be
man.
Sleeping.
Yeah, I have to have I'm gotten the coffee. My eyes are all puffy.
Wait, we're going to see the whip. Everyone, we're streaming.
Oh, yeah. This is a good part.
Yeah. Come on.
There we go.
There we go. That's got me so excited. You didn't have to do that, but... And if you're not a fan, if you didn't know Beastman beforehand, it probably didn't make you excited, but seeing that whip. It's Motu says, I believe Randor did not die. The unproduced She-Ra Princess of Power episode titled Thicker Than Water is an abandoned story concept discovered by researcher James Etok. I believe Randor did not die. The unproduced abandoned story concept. So there must be a story of a She-Ra Princess of Power episode that wasn't filmed that possibly had him fall into rocks. I was kind of thinking they were going like for a problem with power moment. But I tell you guys, especially you guys might have seen that video I put up where Strong Arm was casted, right? A Filmation
I did see that.
Deep dive, you know? And Travis Knight really loved Filmation that it almost feels like, and there's going to be some more reveals, but it almost feels like he was treating this like a Filmation prequel, you know, that this was the lead up. And then we have that sort of Filmation reset at the end of the movie where everyone's in sort of Filmation like costumes behaving like that. And it feels like it's, if they would have kept Randor alive, it almost could work, right? We could say,
the only thing that doesn't work is Skeletor literally watched Adam transform into He-Man right in front of him.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But maybe he'll forget when.
Yeah.
We'll have to
turn away next time.
Yeah. Maybe, well, he's just a skull. He lost all his memory.
Oh, there you go.
But maybe, but then we would have to believe that everyone else is pretending they don't know. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So Tila would be like, where did Adam go?
Yeah.
You know, and He-Man's was the answer, he's safe, you know, and sometimes it was the dumbest situations because one time it was on a boat, right, in the middle of water, and they were attacked by like this kraken, you know, and she's like, where's Adam? Don't worry, he's safe. Where? Johnny Blue says, hey, Shane.
Hey, what's going on?
Trapjaw and Goatman from Damien says we're definitely highlights. If we never see a body, who knows? In regards to Goatman, I guess, and Trapjaw. Yeah, that's true.
I have high hopes that Trapjaw somehow is still alive. Maybe he got to spit that out and jumped out of the ship.
Yeah, and like I said, I love Goatman. Everyone, so scary, so cool, so happy he's in. But if it's a choice between Goatman and bringing back another iconic villain like Merman or Whiplash, let's bring someone new back, versus bringing everyone back, Karg and Goatman.
I feel like on the last watch I did in theaters, when Goatman gets uppercutted and falls off of Snake Mountain, I think you could hear kind of like him hitting the ground or hitting the lava, and there's like a little sound of like him doing that. Maybe that's some homework for everybody to listen closely.
We're already past that part. You go back and
I'm past the part.
Yeah.
The what were you saying? Oh, did you guys know? Because I was talking to JJ Patel, who played the Goaty character that was driving the Roton.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And he didn't know. So I'm wondering if you guys know. When He-Man lands, on the Roton and his face is smushed against the glass, and then he reaches in and yanks him out and he throws him against a tree and falls. Did you guys notice in theater? You hear as he falls?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. I heard that classic that it's like the universal.
No,
guy
turn up the volume. You'll hear as he's falling down. It's so hilarious. And that's another question for Travis Knight. What is your infatuation with goat characters? Because he not only brought Goatman, which is a very rare character, but it was Barry Gower said this Goaty pilot was his idea. It was a Travis Knight sketch to throw this Goaty type character. So you have two goat-like characters in his movie. He must love billy goats, man.
I felt like that whole scene where they were kind of flying through the Eternian forest was very reminiscent of the Star Wars scene when they're in, I guess, like the redwoods or what that was supposed to be, flying.
Oh, Return of the Jedi, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I love.
For some reason that made me feel very like like he was almost like Wookiee-ish.
Ryan says, "Don't bring back characters who are dead. It ruins the stakes."
Bring back Trapjaw. It's the only one I would want back. I don't think Trapjaw's dead. We didn't see it happen on screen. Moss Man, I know people want Moss Man, but I'd be fine with other ones.
Question, Mike. If someone walked up to you and said, let's bring Trapjaw back or bring Too Bad in, what would you say?
Well,
what I mean is, Too Bad in.
And Too Bad's one of your favorites. Now, Too Bad isn't a favorite of mine. Web Story is, right? But I picked Too Bad just because Trapjaw was done and done right. You know? Done so right that I would love them to do right with some other characters, some brand new ones.
I would agree with that. Yeah. But if you're gonna bring someone back, bring back Trapjaw.
Yeah, I agree. Don't bring back Karg, even though I think they did Karg right. Did his hair so much better.
There's definitely enough characters that the ones that died can easily be replaced with such other great iconic characters.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We agree, Ryan. Jonathan Stickle Gradamir. That would be a dream.
So one thing, and this might just be crazy, but when they're walking through, and Mike, I know you talked before about Gygor being in Snake Mountain, like a stuffed Gygor. I kind of feel like one of the skulls on the wall, I mean, it doesn't have to be Granamir, specifically, but it looks like there is a skull that's very much shaped like a dragon's head on there,
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. We were all looking, as fans, all of us, right? Looking at everything behind the scene. And that's what's so exciting that it's streaming now, is now we can sit there like a forensic scientist and pause.
Oh, right. We got HR Skeletor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's almost done, man. Let's see. Itsumoto says She-Ra would have had to fight on Etheria with He-Man's help while simultaneously racing to Eternia to save her father King Randor's life via a blood transfusion. Oh,
that's an interesting story they would have had to tell. I can see why Lou probably didn't go forward with it.
Yeah. I don't, an easier way is to bring it back with magic, right? Sorcery magic. Ryan says, except Skeletor, bring him back, of course. Of course. You remember Thor and what was that? Endgame? Of course.
course.
Of course.
We all know who's in charge.
Of course.
Me, right?
Yeah. Damien says, what if they use the Spellstone as part of the plot device, maybe? Stratos and Zodak, of course. Definitely Stratos, right? Zodak is a little hard, the cosmic enforcers to bring in, you know.
He was name dropped in the movie, so he's
yeah, we were talking about it an hour and a half ago, Mike, that we were happy that he was name dropped, you know, but Merman definitely being part of that original 8-back needed to be in this movie a little more. So
yeah, I don't know that we'd see Zodak unless it was just kind of like a weird cutscene or flashback, because the way she says thank Zodak, it almost seems like he's viewed as a god in eternity.
Right.
What we're saying is during that big transformation scene, we're explaining the sort of power, and you see the cloud formations. They could have shown Zodak on a chair, or a bunch of cosmic enforcers on their chairs.
That would have been cool.
Just for a second, it would have been cool. It would have been great. But Shawshank Redemption, Phil, yeah, one of my favorite American stories. Me too, Phil. That's why it's in my top 20 films of all time. So, Mike, have you seen Whiplash at all? The drumming movie? Starring Jonah Jameson, you know, from the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, him.
You're fired. You're hired.
You guys that they got to play Reed Richards.
Oh, you guys both need to see it. It's such an amazing movie. I tell you, it's one of the most suspenseful, edge on your seat, knuckle movies that don't involve a gun. It is that like intense. You just it's intense. You both need to watch it immediately. Leave. Watch. Kiss My Grits, Florida. In my opinion, the sequel, if made, would be significantly better than the original because there won't be many writers attached. Remember, this movie was adapted from a Nee Brothers script from Netflix, right? And then rewritten by Chris Butler. I think his name is Chris Butler. Dude, this is already a favorite movie of all time for me. So if it'll be significantly better, I'll welcome that. I mean, shit. I figured the only way you could go is down, but Ryan says Schindler's List is a great film, but it's one-time watch every 30 years. Something is wrong with you if you can stomach it over and over. Yeah, Mike, that explanation, we were talking about favorite films aren't necessarily the greatest made films, you know? And the greatest made film is something like Schindler's List and won Best Picture, but it's not something I could repeat watch. It would never be in my top 10.
I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is Dumb and Dumber, which is one of the dumbest movies of all time. But I absolutely adore, like, hits my comedy. I'm literally crying, laughing at all that stuff.
I love the end. Dude, do you realize what you've done? You know, the town is that way.
He's a little slow.
Yeah, you got to excuse my friend. It's a little slow.
Yeah.
Or I love the parrot with the head that fell off.
I just thought he was really quiet.
Jonathan says, I weirdly like Karg again in this movie, and then watching him, I kept thinking, did they bring the same actor back to play him? I never did check. It wasn't. No, it was Hung, I think his name is his last name or first name, Hung Dong something. I know it sounds bad, but
well, they did a good job, you know, with that character because I despise him in the movie, and I
agree.
Not because I don't like the character. I just think he's gross, you know, and they portrayed him as that very well.
And I always joke that the 87 one looked like my grandma, and then now it's like, okay, a lot better now.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Barry Gower was saying, that it would look like, you know, his mother and his aunt, the old Karg hairdo, so they improved it. Johnny Blue says Whiplash would look scary in live action. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they made them all huge and everything, like the 2000X.
Snout Spout would be cool to see in live action. Yeah, just putting out a fire. You don't need to make him a main character. Give him as much screen time as Mossman or something. 2000X, Marzo was updated wisely. Yeah, Count Marzo. Yeah, no, he was really more intimidating. Like I said, he just wanted to get like kids high in the Filmation cartoon.
Ooh, I'm on the Beastman scene. It's a good one.
Filmation was a strong influence in the Motu 2026, but there are Motu influences from all across the board. 2000X, New Adventures 87 movie. Absolutely. I mean, Filmation was Travis's main default, but he definitely pulled from, and geez, like I said, he has to be a fan of the 87 movie to pull Pig Boy and Karg from that. Oh, and Julie. Julie. Everyone hears Julie, and it flies over their head at the
Giving
restaurant.
Dolph a scene where he's basically He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in my spot. I love that. I love that line. You've taken my spot. That's the second part of that. Boss Man Sean says, "Is there a yawn emoji? Might need to look into that one for Mike."
There is a yawn emoji. I saw that last night.
Yeah.
Johnny Blue says, "D-Man was a duh." What moment? From Skeletor's origin, maybe? Or do you mean He-Man and misspelled that? Is D next to H? It is not. Let's see. Must be Sean. Everyone's saying hello. Everyone's been so great today. So happy to see everybody today. Johnny says, "I've learned how to play songs from the soundtrack on piano and guitar. It's epic."
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. We're the masters of the universe. During the Trapjaw battle with Man-at-Arms, a few riffs of 80s Skeletor theme can be heard. Damien, really? Which Trapjaw battle, Damien? Let us know. The first one or the second one with Man-at-Arms? So right now we have the final battle going on.
Oh, wow. So great.
Yeah.
I got Beastman looking for.
Yeah, we're not going to make it through yours.
No, it's fine. I started mine pretty late. So.
I never gave Shane an end time, and he's like, "When is this ending?"
Oh, no, I figured we'd go through the movie. Yeah,
I know you guys are. If you started this at 7 a.m.
yes,
or 10 a.m. your time.
If you see the time above, it should say.
Oh
live.
yeah. You guys are over 2 hours. Yeah.
Yep.
The scene that you're at right now, AJ, is also one of I think the best comic scenes of the show when Skeletor finally sees that He-Man's not messing around and he's laying on the ground. He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk? You want to talk about?"
Yeah, you want to talk? Yeah. Mike prefers buttworms. That's his favorite line out of the whole movie. He's a buttworm type of guy.
Buttworms. You just call us buttworms.
Yeah. Let's see. Johnny Blue says, "Up so early. I haven't slept a wink. Watch it 2 times since midnight."
That's crazy.
Right.
You guys are the greatest fans. When Adam and Tila are in prison, one of the guards calls to Fisto and says, "We may have a situation." When there's clearly 10 vehicles coming in shooting. Should have been. I know, right? Did I read that right? So when Adam and Tila are in prison, one of the guards calls to Fisto and says, "We may have a situation."
Yeah, that girl walks in. She's like, "We may have a situation." And it's like, no, they're being attacked.
Oh, yeah.
Not a situation.
Yes.
It should have been, and then I think it got cut off. There's probably another from last year. There you go.
Oh, here we go. Oh, let's see. Let's read this again. When Adam and Tila are in prison, one of the guards calls to Fisto and says, "We may have a situation." When there's clearly 10 vehicles coming in shooting. Would believe more, Fisto. We're fucked. Yeah. All right. Now I get it. Well, another case in point, right? Everyone's on the balcony in the beginning of the movie. Randor sees they're under attack. Man-at-Arms runs out and says,
"Yeah,
Randor, we're under attack."
Yeah, I thought that was funny too.
Randor should have been, "Hello."
I can clearly see that.
Yes. Ryan says, "I don't know if they made this a prequel and everyone is just pretending to not know, then Revelation is undone." Oh, that's a fair point. But what's interesting, Ryan, is Revelation was definitely a sequel, a uncredited sequel to the Filmation cartoon, but then in Revolution they sort of distanced themselves from that. So because a lot of people, I guess, rejected it. Because they did change a few things, including Orko being a great wizard on his home planet and in the Filmation show in Trala, but not in the Revelation canon. Bring back Trapjaw, says Dan Rez. Too bad. Definitely Stinkor. Fingers crossed. Just fingers crossed we get any kind of continuation. Jeez.
Yeah.
If we get a sequel, Kiss My Grits Florida says, with She-Ra, my choice is to play her is Samara Weaving or Samara. She has a resemblance to Nicholas Galitzine, Jason Isaacs, Malfoy's dad from Harry Potter is my choice for Hordak. I don't know. You'll have to look her up.
Yeah, that was talk I think at the table that night when Ryan, I believe, was saying Sydney Sweeney. I think somebody else had mentioned this actress as well. So
Yeah.
Looks like she's in a lot of like horror films.
Citadelli says, finished my first watch. Thankfully, only a commercial at the beginning with no interruptions. You know,
nice.
I watched for the first time Project Hail Mary with my wife on Amazon Prime, and that only had commercials in the beginning. There were no interruptions, you know, but I didn't know if Masters of the Universe is going to be different. So,
but still, if you Mary, haven't got around to it.
Still, if you guys can afford it before you watch Masters of the Universe, upgrade to no commercials. You know, right before you watch it, they look at those analytics. You know, any way you can help. I mean, if you're in a good money situation, help.
Yeah.
Damon says the first battle. Okay, so we can hear like a Skeletor theme during that first battle. I'll have to listen.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go back and rewatch this again right after. Anyway, it's gonna be on in the background as I pack.
Next movie shall be slightly more serious, less marvelous jokes, and more epic still, and it shall be epic. Yeah, I'd be okay if it went. I mean, it definitely went serious in the middle of the movie, right? Mm-hmm. So when Randor dies, when he kills all those people in Snake Mountain, you know, when he's like, I have the power of a god, you know, I mean, so you definitely get that serious motu in the middle of the movie, but then you know, I get it at the end. It's Filmation. It's and I love Cringer's reaction looking at them like, what the hell are you doing? That was great. And Roboto, seeing all the gears inside. Oh, jeez.
Well, like we were talking at the beginning with Idris Elba portraying Man-at-Arms in that way by cursing and hitting that kid on the head with that stick pretty hard. You know, that's the other thing too, is that we get to see He-Man, you know, kind of, you know, do away with quite a few people that, you know, I was not expecting to see that. So
yeah, but I loved it. I didn't.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, but
I was
just
nervous.
A different Eternia. Mm-hmm.
I was taken aback when I saw it at the premiere for the first time. Shane, I was like, what am I looking at? This is not the He-Man I'm used to. But then understanding the story arc, understanding the second time I saw it, you know, in regards to what Adam was trying to be. He wasn't trying to be what he was in his heart. He was trying to be the man that not only Randor was teaching him to be, but freaking Man-at-Arms is teaching him to be. Yeah. And then he finally, that's why it feels like a great prequel to Filmation, you know, and in a way, you brought up Man-at-Arms, like that was out of character, hitting him in the head with a stick, right? He's not the same Duncan when at the end of the movie. In a way, it feels like a prequel to the Filmation Man-at-Arms. You know, he's a lot more gentler guy in touch with his feelings, right?
Yeah.
So it's really wild.
Mm-hmm.
Eli says, I didn't enter before because was watching the movie already. Cheers. Well, good to see you, Eli. Nice. Sydney Sweeney as Shirella. Oh, well, we're going really deep dive now.
Everyone wants Sydney Sweeney in this next one.
Well, it was originally Ryan, man. And we were joking before, we were going to have Sydney Sweeney play every role, including Cringer. No commercials here. Standard subscription. Okay, great, Eli. And then Silva says, well, I really hope there's a sequel. I'm counting on it. If not, be really disappointed. Yep. Oh, here it is, man. He-Man, the end.
Yeah, the end is just so perfect for this too, I think.
Right?
Yeah. Cringer finally gets his armor that he's talking about a couple times. So
and you hear the He-Man, you know, you know, as a Filmation fan, I just love that.
Yeah.
And the guy who plays Cringer, he believes there's a transformation involved. I was like, is this Cringer just mentally becoming Cringer? You know, because he's there is no transformation when they first charge the castle, and Tila says, you know, pussy, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, okay, is this just sort of not a real transformation, but sort of adopting a new personality, being a heroic Cringer, but he's always Cringer? But at least in the actor, Tom, who played Cringer, in his mind, there's a transformation. In his mind, off scene, when they go off to transform at the end of the movie and he gets his armor, the sword is pointed to him and the armor is built like Iron Man.
Yeah. That's exactly how I feel too. Is
Yeah.
that there's a transformation at the end, and yes,
But it is less two personality, because if you watch Filmation, it's two personalities. He's sometimes like, oh,
Yeah.
Battle Cat hates the other guy. You know,
Battle Cat would not be battling Beastman inside of Castle Grayskull in the Filmation cartoon. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Cringer wouldn't be battling.
Cringer would not be
Yeah.
battling. Yeah. And Cringer hates transforming, so that's so it's a little different, but at least there is a transformation going on with the armor. So I just wish we could have saw that,
Yeah.
Disappointing, a little $1 million extra in the budget just to see a transformation like that at the end. People would have been like standing up cheering, man. Ryan says, I want Sweeney for two very large reasons. I love these. Do you guys love these designs?
I'm guessing Ryan saw Euphoria.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure he saw Euphoria and other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Seems like we already have to battle so many people with, I feel like every time I talk about the movie and Jared Leto's performance, I have to, throw it in at the beginning. Like, I agree that maybe outside of his acting and his personal life, he's not probably the best guy. You always got to put that in there. So I don't know if Sydney Sweeney, if we could do that again for a second movie, since she has kind of a, bad aura around her these days too.
I'm sure you would be there opening day.
it's not as bad as Jared, I feel like, though.
Yeah,
and definitely Ryan would be there opening day. Jeez, Ryan would fund the movie if he could. Silva says, I'm autistic and I hyper focus on these kind of movies. I love He-Man as a child. I saw this movie 3 times in theaters. That's awesome, Silva.
Yeah.
There's a chance the sequel could happen. What do you think? I'm probably, these guys might be the most optimistic. I'm probably the least optimistic, guys. Dungeons and Dragons was a bomb, and that made $250 million. They spent a lot of money in promoting this movie, and this thing made out like $100 million worldwide. That should have been the opening weekend in the US for Masters of the Universe. So even if it does pretty well, it's got to do amazing on streaming, and for the longest time just dominate the #1 spot, I think, to justify another movie. So
what's crazy is there's still one theater in San Diego, or at least one AMC in San Diego, that's still today. I could go see it in the theater today at one showing in the theater still. So
I think also in drive-ins they'll keep it going. They like to play older run movies and stuff. But
I'm curious to see what San Diego Comic-Con is going to entail. Like, will they have? I mean, the movie came out on streaming today. I think they're going to promote the shit out of it at San Diego Comic-Con. So.
Well, I think they would have a panel if it really did well. I think they'd have everyone out there, and but geez, like I said, it wouldn't have been even #2 if they didn't open #2 at the box office. It didn't have that Wednesday and Thursday screening.
Well, I hope we get some more figures. I'm sure that they're coming out with more, Chronicles figures for characters. So maybe we'll get to see some of that.
Yeah.
What we really need in here for the sequel is we need Jay to come in, because he was so skeptical of the movie getting made in the first place. That might be our good luck charm. If Jay came in here and was skeptical of the sequel, maybe we'll get it.
You weren't skeptical? I mean,
of having a movie. I thought that it would get made eventually. It was, a little touch and go when it was like Netflix was going to do. I thought really Netflix was going to do it. That when they said that they weren't going to do it, that's when I was like, oh no, it might not happen. But because I know Sony had it for a while too, so I figured somebody would do it.
I've been following it for 20 years. Never thought it was going to happen. I was a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. Never thought they were going to win the Super Bowl too.
I posted on my Instagram back in 2021 when Sony had it, and it was like The Power Returns March 5th, 2021 or something. And then that day came, and I posted that, and I was like, this is I posted it April 1st, and I was like, this is the biggest April Fool's joke to us. I just gave it at that point.
Yeah.
Like, Mike, you're a Miami Dolphins fan, right? So you must be thinking now at your age, you're like, am I going to live and see a championship?
No, there's no way. They keep progressively going the wrong way, man.
Yeah. So you
they
wonder,
haven't won a playoff game in 25 years, basically.
So you wonder, are you going to be in the grave and never see that? And the same thing I was thinking with the Eagles when they won in 2018, and before that, and I used to be ridiculed all the time as a kid. No chance. Everyone had rings in my division, and especially I was living in New Jersey around Giants fans. So even though It's not New Jersey Giants. You know, they're just
Did
as
you
much
guys
as.
win with McNabb, or did you go and then?
No, we went in '82 against the Raiders, lost with Jaws and Ron Jarowski, and then McNabb in 2004. And I love that team. That was my favorite team. McNabb, Brian Westbrook, Javon Curse, Brian Dawkins. I love that team.
You guys have a good team.
Great team. Still my favorite team of all time. Terrell Owens. And but they lost. They lost by 3 points against the Eagles. Yeah.
The Patriots.
The Patriots, sorry.
They were
sorry. Yeah. And then in 2018, when it happened, you know, Carson Wentz went down and then Nick Foles took over as a backup quarterback, you know, and it's like, but then when it happened, I couldn't believe. I was happy for 6 months. I want that feeling for you, Mike. I really do, because then I was on cloud nine for 6 months, dude. It's like, I couldn't believe how happy something like that could make me after so many years of wanting it. And this movie is the same thing. So, credits, dude. We made it. Oh, are we done?
We gotta wait for the
show the post-credit scenes. No, there he goes.
Yeah. Okay. Because sometimes in streaming there's credits additional. So,
but you already saw the She-Ra, so you're gonna see Evelyn here in a second.
Yep, we're gonna see Evelyn.
That's definitely something that I hope that more people, now that it's streaming, get a chance to see, because when I saw it in the theater, there was, you know, I would say 50% of the people sat down and waited for the other, you know, end credit scenes. But a lot of people got up, and there was even one where I told some people, hey, you know, there's more if you care. And some people kind of like looked at me, and I don't know if they thought I was just a weirdo or what, but they walked out still. And it was like, all right.
I felt the same. I almost wanted, after seeing it so many times, and then I see these people start standing up, I almost wanted to like run to the door and be like, wait.
Lock the door. You can't leave.
Yeah. You cannot leave. You must watch this.
Yeah, I did. In one of my close to my last viewing, there was a group of girls that came in. I'm like, how did they get in this theater? You know, but they were cracking up. They loved Skeletor, but when the She-Ra showed up, they stayed. You know, they were young enough to realize stay through the credits. They're like, who's she? You know, they had no idea. You know,
which is weird because that whole 2019 She-Ra kind of revamped She-Ra for a lot of the girls.
But how many girls, right? Meaning that the amount of episodes, the amount of seasons that was locked in at production. Yeah. So it wasn't a sign that it was successful that had 5 seasons. It was always going to have 5 seasons. That was part of the deal. Same thing with the kids show, He-Man and Masters of the Universe, the reboot that appeared on Netflix, the CG show. Yeah, even though they were like, oh, another season's greenlit. No, all what was it? 26 episodes were greenlit at the same time. Otherwise, it would have taken years for each season, you know, to write the scripts, to do the. So I don't think, you know, it definitely has its fans. Actually, both shows has its fans, but that Netflix She-Ra definitely has its fans, but I just don't think it's a large majority, you know. So unfortunately. Otherwise, we would, have a lot more of those She-Ra figures, or just She-Ra figures in general. They don't seem to, like, you know, Masterverse brings them out, She-Ra, they don't seem to sell well. And they're never valuable. And then they stop them after 4 or 5. Same thing with the cartoon collection. Didn't go very far with She-Ra. Filmation, you know? All right. So we're done streaming here. Let's see if we have any more comments, and then we can wrap this up. Oh, yeah. Dan wanted to know, Dan Rez wanted to know, are we ever going to get the extended version of 3 hours?
I sure hope so.
The thing is, when they say, you know, my original cut was 3 hours, it doesn't mean the music tracks were laid out. It doesn't mean special effects were done. It might be more of a work print. So,
yeah, definitely like CG and stuff is not going to be completed.
Yeah, so we might never get that, or we might get a work print one day, kind of like Masters of the Universe. I think the new 4K, the 1987 film, is going to have some sort of work print version or something.
There's 13 additional minutes added to the new one that's coming out on the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
so only shown to screening audiences, which, you know,
so maybe we could get it.
Yeah, I would love like an extended version of the movie where you just get, you know, all that extra put into it. But I think the reality of it is that we could hope for maybe like a special features kind of thing, where it was like, you know, deleted scenes or something.
Yeah, if we do get extended version, I don't think it'll be 3 hours, but maybe 10 more minutes, you know, something to sell. Maybe a Blu-ray, like we said, 6 months after the initial Blu-ray comes out, and try to squeeze some more money out of it. Collector Phil says, I must say how amazed I was at hearing so much rock and roll soundtrack through several parts of the movie. This was a personal Hollywood dream I had for years now. Oh, yeah, me too. Especially if you're a fan of Flash.
Yeah.
This felt like that, man. Were you guys fans of Flash Gordon at all?
Well,
It was literally my nickname in high school and stuff.
Oh, it was? Oh, yeah. Okay. But I mean,
my last name is Gordon, so.
Oh, well, I mean, but that doesn't mean you're.
But that I could hate it, like, right? No, yeah. But I like Flash Gordon.
Yeah. And the
music, one thing that oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the music elevated the scenes. That as they're fighting.
Yeah.
You know, or Flash, it's time to bail out. You know, you early bird, you know, and you hear the in the background. Imagine if there was just generic music, it wouldn't be as good.
So, yeah. One thing that I really loved in the new movie is that they make the joke of what are you, Highlander? And then later on they play the Highlander theme song. So that's pretty great. Mm-hmm.
Here we are, born to be kings. Johnny Blue says, fingers crossed. Eli says, I'm not the kind of sensible Adam guy, but this movie made me cry tons of times around this movie. That's a bad confession, I guess. Sorry. Dude, I was brought to tears too.
Yeah, I got a little choked up. I didn't cry, but I got a little choked up.
Yeah, just about every time Cringer came on, you know, it did that for me. So
for me, it was, well, I thought first Nicholas had a great dramatic scene when his father died, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that, especially when, you know, he admitted about like, I was trying to be someone else, you know, I'm being what you wanted me to be, Dad, someone else. And then not being able to say I love you at the end, but then at the actual filmation, him at the end, and you hear the filmation tune and him on Cringer, it was just so emotional for me. I could.
Yeah.
It was a dream come true, and yeah, that brought me to tears. So that's not a bad confession, Eli, and it happened to a lot of us, man.
Yeah, so, definitely.
The Battle for Snake Mountain song was great. Yeah.
Yeah, another great scene right here.
Oh man. You're before it, but another great scene. Love that transformation scene.
Mm-hmm.
When he realizes his powers, he's like, "Oh man, look at me, I'm strong."
I love Trapjaw's face right here, and he's like, and he just like snarls at him. Like,
Silva says hello from Brazil. Let's see. Is there anything else to address?
So good. I'll leave it on for the transfer.
No, Mike, you can put it back. I don't want to be copyright.
I'll be off to the side here.
I don't want to be copyright flagged, Mike.
They ain't gonna copyright you. They got to promote this.
They got AI going nowadays. Nah. So. Is the movie showing within the top 10 stats in Amazon? They're still too soon. Might be still too soon. I think we'll have to wait till tomorrow, maybe. So, Niraj says, how much do you bench? What is bench?
What is bench?
France gets to see it finally. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now we are all buttworms. It's Motu says, I'm rooting for a performance honoring Brian May featuring attorney at the Oscars. Whoa, that would be something. Just like really... I'm Just Ken at the 2024 Oscars. I saw that on YouTube. That would be epic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have a feeling they're going to ignore Motu. They really shouldn't.
Yeah, that soundtrack is the shining light of the entire movie. If they're going to show anything at the Oscars, they can.
Yeah, definitely.
That soundtrack.
Silva says, guys, I really admire you. I'd love to understand everything you're saying because I don't speak English, but I'll watch the dubbed version on YouTube after the live stream.
Great.
Appreciate that, Silva.
Mm-hmm.
Spanish.
Ryan says, I noticed Masters Universe Revelation is for sale digitally on Amazon. About to support the brand. Nice. All right. Anyone else to say? Jonathan Stickles says, and regarding the way the names were handled, I think it was about how all superhero names are like that. The Batman, the Superman, the He-Man, the Spider-Man, Ram-Man. Yeah. You remember in Man of Steel, they don't call him Superman except that one time.
Yeah.
Right. They kind of hide the fact they never refer to him as Super. It's always, what's his name? Kal-El.
Kal-El. Yeah.
Yeah. Mossman, so many cool Gordons, Flash, Terminator, and Lightfoot. Yeah.
And Mike.
He didn't include Mike.
I used to get called Flash Gordon, and then a lot of people, because Gordon sound like Jordan, so I'd get like, oh, I want to be like Mike, and do that. Like those.
That's good.
Those were the two I'd get all the time.
To fill in the gap between premiere and opening day, I watched Beastmaster, nice, and Flash Gordon. Yeah, I used to have a little crush on what was her name? Tanya. Who was the woman in Flash Beastmaster?
Oh, I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah.
I saw someone in the comments put Fifth Element earlier as like a favorite sci-fi. I love Fifth Element. That's another one that's way up. Like Gary Oldman's performance in that. Oh man.
Watch Heavy Metal, the animated series.
Oh, love Heavy Metal.
It feels like, it's that same thing. The taxi cab driver picking up a woman in the car that comes with a lot of something stolen and baggage. And
right.
It feels like a ripoff from that, but it's an entertaining ripoff. Eli says, have someone confirm the streaming is able in Dolby Atmos. I just got UHD HDR10. If not, I'm sure on disc they'll be available probably.
Yeah, I don't know if it is. Definitely 4K.
Last Year's Universe says definitely brought to tears. Just seeing the characters, maybe because I'm a newer cat dad. But I totally agree with House of Chakotay. Anytime Cringer was on screen, I was pouring. Oh, especially when he walks out, you kind of forget about him. And he's like, Adam, is that you? It's kind of like the revelation moment in a way. It's like he's like, can I lick you? Oh,
yeah.
Any movie actors or actresses coming to Motooniverse 2? Too early. I would say yes.
We hope so.
On top of it, but way too early. Tanya Roberts, thank you. That was the woman in Beastmaster. She also was Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. And a quick story about Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. It was basically the film version of Tarzan. PG movie. She is nude all through that movie, in the daylight, top and bottom. And I was taken as a kid because my dad, he had visitation, and he's like, I'm going to take him to a PG movie called Sheena, But back in the day, you could show full frontal nudity, not for a flash of a second, but for a long period of time for a rated PG movie. And she got naked all the time. And my dad started sweating bullets because my mother was a born-again Christian, very serious about sexual anything. She'd rather me watch violence, someone get killed, than see nudity. And he was sweating bullets through the whole thing, and then made me and my brother swear. He's like, do not tell your mother, please, what you saw.
This is it. I'm losing visitation today.
Yeah.
You will not see me again if you say that.
Yeah, it was really Clash of Titans, another one with Ray Harryhausen, right? All the special effects that had nudities.
Oh yeah, love those movies.
Yeah, in the beginning, a nude little boy and a nude mother walking down the beach, and it was a different time back then. It was strange. So, there you go.
Thanks, Sean.
$5 on the way to Mossman.
Yeah.
And then rest in peace, Tanya. Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she was in older. She starred in That 70s Show as well.
Oh yeah, she was the
wife.
She was Donna's mom.
Yeah, Donna's mom. Yes. All right, gentlemen. I think I love when He-Man is about to reach out to Zora atop the power sword, and she flies off to reveal her own daughter. Subtle but perfect. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna notice a lot of stuff as we keep watching it, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, gentlemen, first I want to thank Shane for being on time.
Well, thank you for having me. And I was fully prepared to do a live watching of this, which is why I'm in my living room with this bright window. But I'll have a better backdrop next time. I'm jealous of all the toys in your backdrop. I was like, should have done this in a different room. But
that's my bad for not explaining exactly what this was.
Hey, it's all right.
Yeah.
It was.
I was like, unfortunately, this is going to be for a few minutes.
But no, Shane, jeez, yeah, this is far overdue because we had a great time. So many guys, I would love.
Oh yeah,
we got to get Mossman Sean on here. We got to get Ryan on here and talk about Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, definitely.
Over and over and over again.
If we could get Ryan cosplaying as Sydney Sweeney, that would be great.
Halloween. Yeah. So, guys, anything else before we wrap this up? That's it.
No, thank you for having me, though. This is great.
Streaming, guys. Masters of the Universe. Born to be kings, man. See it again and again, even though that's not going to help the algorithm. We already know that is true. Tell a friend to watch it. Upgrade if you can afford it right before you watch it. And
I think if you have the regular Prime, I have regular Prime. It's playing. There's commercial at the beginning, but that's it.
What I mean is, if they look at algorithms, they see new subscribers that subscribe and then go and watch immediately that. Or if you pay to be commercial free and then immediately watch that, maybe it helps, So, but if you let it play 50 times in the background for 50 days straight, it's not.
Yeah, after the first play, it's kind of pointless.
They might look at you and frown.
Like you're crazy.
Because apparently it costs money to have all these servers and stuff to stream the movie and stuff. I don't know how it works, but all right, gentlemen. So everyone enjoy He-Man and Masters of the Universe. He-Man, jeez, Masters of the Universe. We were talking about it is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe in some countries. Enjoy, man. Watch it, love it, and then we'll try to have a rewatch along. So
that would be great.
Yeah, maybe come up with a team of 6.
If you guys, I do have one thing. If you're interested in seeing what Mattel is going to be offering today, I will be at San Diego Comic-Con. Be about 4 p.m. Pacific, so like 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to try to get in there ASAP. I beeline straight to the Mattel booth, and I will be going live, hopefully on YouTube if it works, if not Instagram. And showing you guys everything that they got to offer today.
Sweet.
I'm excited to see all that.
Yep. All right, guys. So this is not a He-Maniacs episode, so I'm not going to say that line, but we'll see you next time, everybody. See ya.
You guys. Bye.
Bye. And we're waving. You're like, this isn't a He-Man